What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Let's Read motherfucking live stream. Let's go check out some older videos to sleep to and got this alert. Perfect indeed. How's my weekend? My weekend was good. It seems to have flown by. Currently at work, but let's fucking go. That's what I like to hear. Good to see everybody. My voice. It's one of those things. It's one of those voices when you expel air through a little hole in your throat, and it makes a noise, kind of like this. I'm high as fuck. Boy, hello, Joyo. Hello, Hannah. Are you, Hannah? You have to be careful getting too high. You might never be sober again in your life. Aren't you worried about that? Being stuck, being high forever and ever and ever and ever. I love that Joel's giving a lesson on how voices work. You see, you got a little hole and you blow air through it like a horn. About to stuff my face with a mushroom Swiss burger. Dude, that sounds fucking awesome. Sandlot reference, yes. Man, that was the movie back in the day. Madison Osgood, welcome to the Buttersock Cult. You now have access to bonus content, which I hope everybody had a chance to check out the bonus content from this weekend. I got the philosophy video up, and it seemed to get some good reception back. It's one of those ones that, you know, might hit you in the feels in a way that you never had felt quite before. So if you do have a green name and you are a member, be sure to check it out when you get a chance. And Stephanie Bowling, welcome back for 8 months. Says, Joel, I'm enjoying my vacation in the mountains, and Jacob has promised me that he let me get my feet pedicured for Mother's Day. I love my husband. That's awesome. Are you out in the mountains right now? Do you got reception out there in Mountain Town? Come and play with us, Danny. Forever and ever. Keep you on your toes. It's good. Keep your toes curled and tickled. Keep those piggies going wee all the way home. The college roommates and I all have listening nights. Good. Gather them together for the powwow. For our new meeting. I've gathered you all here today to let you know that my cat is down at my feet. I have one of my furry coats that has a little fur on the inside. He is currently making a large amount of biscuits on it. Probably baking something for the whole class. So you can thank him later as we hand out the biscuits. I have a cat, I do, yep. Mr. Pradeep. No more rehab for me, and I'm doing good now. How was your day before the live? And now I'm just waiting until tomorrow. I'm going to go train hopping. So fun. What's your cat's name? Train hopping? You just jump on the train? What breed? He's black. So, whatever breed is just midnight darkness. And Dine223, welcome to the Buttersock Cult. You now have access to bonus content. Thank you, Dine. Wonder how many oh, you know what? I hope on the bonus content, did I add it to the playlist yet? I wonder if I can do that now. I mean, it was released, but I feel like I don't quite recall if I added it to the playlist. Yeah, I did. Wait, no. Wait, oh, I didn't. I'm a silly goose. I got it. No, not streams. Members only bonus content. There we go. See, that's something I always forget. Like, it lets people know, but it's important for any new members to check out. There we go. Got a question for you. What's your opinion on socks with butter on them? Oh, man. It's going to be drenched. Absolutely drenched. Just completely saturated in butter. Also, I got an exciting piece of news for you. For lovers of the stream and all things this. Mr. Robin finally finished up our reaction screen where we can watch silly videos on YouTube and react to them together as a family. Because, you know, everybody's got to branch out into reactions of something. Joel, my love, I was able to finally catch another stream when I'm not sick. Welcome, Sarah. Yeah, I'm starting a little bit earlier tonight, huh? Your mother is awesome. Good to hear. I hope everybody's got a good mom. 7-Leaf Clover, welcome back. For 3 months, has been enjoying my holiday since I quit my job, but Monday I shall hunt for a job. Also made supper early so I can enjoy while listening. Much love. Thank you, 7-Leaf. Good to see ya. I hope your job hunt goes well and you get to enjoy a little bit of supper. I haven't heard that word in a while. Supper. When I'm saying hi to somebody, I say supper. And Kim Sandlin with the 5 says, I don't have a scary Mother's Day story. Father's Day? I'm all over that one, Joel. Oh, shit. You got a scary dad? Or perhaps a dad who's been through some terrifying experiences. I've been more exhausted lately. I've been attending swim classes at the gym. Okay, that's fun, though. Swim classes. That's a good low-impact way to get some little bit of cardio in. Burn some calories. Scary Grandparents' Day. Did they have a Grandparents' Day? I hope so. Are you guys doing anything for Mother's Day? I believe it's next Sunday. Crazy. You know, everybody and their mother is going to be out for that one. I can't read the word hit the like button without thinking about the hit the gwitty. Hit the gwitty and the like button at the same time. I need you to gwitty on up to that like button. Just smash it. Your grandparents have a room of creepy dolls. I feel like everybody's grandparent has like a room of like creepy, smelly things. It's got like a guaranteed like type of stench to it, you know what I mean? A certain stink. Damn, caught it early. Still smoking my bowl. Mixed scroopy noopers with fish scales. You're just finding anything. Any dried good in the house is just getting thrown into that bowl and smoked. Hitting the gwitty. He widowy hit the gwitty. Also, if we do a reaction sort of thing on the channel, you guys will have to give me things to react to, because I don't quite know what that would be. Also, let me turn off the light. Let me get cozy. I have like this one light that's like above my, or like kind of above and beyond my screen. It always like, I've always enjoyed lighting in the sense of like blending, you know what I mean? Did you ever like it's like it's the morning, it's getting nice and sunny, you open the blinds in the kitchen, you go to, it looks, you know, morning, but then as soon as you turn the lights on, that's when everything starts to blend together. It's like light grabs other light and like blends it together. But sometimes I feel like light can also detract your eyes from the light that you're trying to look at, such as the internet. You doing your homework? Good, good. Keep up on it. Can't be having you get behind. Guys, I'm widowy hitting the Gwibby. I'm a smoker on a budge. Yeah, you just gotta find random things. Just dried cat poop and toad's eyes and raisins. Just throw it in. We're smoking it. There's been a light kidnapping. Just a light one. Ghost videos from Mexico or Latin America. Oh yeah. What's the one from Latin America? The Ya Llorona or La Llorona. The reaction thing is played out and too saturated, Joel. Maybe you could start a cooking thing. Nah, fuck that shit. Reacting's where it's at. I'm only gonna do it as like sort of a fun side thing, so like if we have time at the end and we're still cruising and having a good time, you guys can just tell me to watch some videos that you like and we can watch it together. Get everyone's thoughts. It can be anything. Meme compilation, a funny video or some shit. It can be a new video game trailer or some shit maybe. That'd be kind of cool. Hey Joe, I have a request. If you can do another Omega Stores again. It was awesome because the first video I watched of you, and if you... Thanks. If not, it's okay, please. Good, Joel. Perhaps. Elvis, press play. Welcome back for 8 months. Let's effing read, baby. LFR. Instead of let's go, it's let's read. Let's fucking read. Having sarcastic humor is a curse and a blessing so long as the person who is near you understands that you're being sarcastic. Otherwise, you could end up in jail. La Llorona. My Llorona. First time catching live. Hello to Joel and everyone listening. Love from Iceland. Thank you, TCF. Good to see you. Yeah, you can see the timer in the top left corner. For the first 20 minutes or so, we're just chilling. We got another 5 minutes left. I'll kick off the stories. We got quite a few Mother's Day stories to bang through. But a lot of them are kind of shorter. And there is some true crime content thrown in there as well to kind of mix it up. In jail or the mental ward? Who's that? You? Oh, or yeah. Sarcastic people get put there. You are currently watching this in jail, yeah. Good, good. I'm glad they put you away. We've had enough of that. David De La Rosa Jr. Welcome back for 18 months. Just hi, Joel. Best 18 months of my life. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you, David. Time certainly does fly. My goodness. It's crazy. That song parody is going to be an intrusive thought for years. My Llorona. Born to joke, forced to jail. If you make one single little goof about Joe Biden, you're going straight to jail. Straight to jail. Are all the stories you read sent to you, or do you contact writers? Most of them are sent to me over email, but a lot of the Reddit ones are ones where we contact them and ask for permissione, because it's directly from the Reddit site. And that was kind of the OG stuff for this kind of stuff before I build up an audience. My best friend... Oh. I'm sorry about that. Like the background? Yeah, we got quite a few. We got a selection of backgrounds now from Mr. Robin. He is the master of disaster when it comes to making cool stuff. And hopefully you'll get to see it tonight. Isaiah, what's going on? Red Robin. Nah, prickly. Yeah, I can't imagine. That's crazy. And David, thank you for the 2. What's my favorite animal? You know, I used to really like polar bears and tigers, and then I was like, oh, there's a mix between those two. They got the Siberian tiger, which is so fucking crazy to think. There's just like a tiger that was like, it's just completely white, you know? Like, that's cool as fuck. I wonder how many Siberian tigers are left in the world. The cool thing about them is poaching them and turning them into coats. That's gonna be a life goal of mine, maybe. Wow, fewer than 600 left. I better hurry up. Oh, wow. Wait a second. So Siberian tigers aren't all white? Well, how do you get a white one? Where are white tigers found? That's crazy, dude. Is it just like an albino? The Siberian... Okay. I guess... Wait, is it just an albino? I have no idea. Or bleach tigers, a leucistic pigmentation variant. Okay, so it is just kind of random. Snow tigers. Siegfried and Roy's backyard. Yeah, that's where you get it. Just head down to the circus real quick. BRB. Thank you for all your videos, man. You helped me sleep. I've been a long follower, man. Thanks, Tanya. Good to see ya. I hope I'm saying that right. Polar bear's hair is hollow. That's why it looks white. Helps keep them warm. It's hollow? Like it's just... That's interesting. Hollow. Does that mean it's like thicker and more brittle, or... Like where it doesn't have like a certain substance within it or something? This is like black cats. Technically they're brown. I guess that's kind of true, because sometimes you see Pradeep in the right light whenever you kind of push his fur up, and it does look a little bit brown. What's up, Carla? Doing good. The kitty was down here, and he seems to have abandoned me. I'm gonna really say my Eurona to people now, and they won't know what I'm talking about. They will. They'll figure it out. They'll know you're making a reference to the Let's Read stream, because obviously everybody listens to this. Well, we made it, my friends. The first 20 minutes here. Let's kick it off. Let's just get right to it, shall we? If you like that playlist, that's 1 a.m. chill session, synthwave and chillwave on the Lo-Fi Girl YouTube channel. All sorts of artists over there, but I like that they're doing synthwave more recently. That's pretty baller. Do. Do you have YouTube Premium? I do, yeah. It makes life easier when you can like listen to shit with the app closed out, you know what I mean? The sun can lighten the fur. Okay. But thanks for being here, friends. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Click like, click share, all that cool ass shit. Lo-fi is still around. Oh yeah. Lo-fi be popping off all the time. You got YouTube Premium just for me? Well, I appreciate that, yeah. And I do believe ever since they introduced that, the different creators get a cut of it, which is nice. How much is YouTube Premium? I think it's like $5 a month, or maybe it's $12 a month, I forget. But honestly, yeah, I just do it specifically to avoid the ads, and then, you know, you can close the app out, and it just makes it totally worth it. 16 USD a month? Okay. Seven Leaf with the 110 Canadian. Thank you, thank you. Crunchyroll costs less, man. Yeah, you could watch some anime if you want. Or listen to Let's Read without interruptions. Minus whenever I do the normal ads. Premium for me would probably be worth it if more than Spotify, both music and everything else on one app. Exactly, yeah, it does make a huge difference. YouTube is fortunate in that, where everybody just uploads everything here. Have I watched The Love Witch? No, what's that? Alright, friendos, let's do it. I grew up in a very traditional church-going family here in Ontario. Jesus Christ. I grew up in a very traditional church-going family here in Ontario. My dad was the vice president of some software company while Mom stayed at home and raised us. We were able to afford that kind of lifestyle because my dad had made a ton of money in the dot-com boom and continued to make six figures in his VP position. Mom was a capable woman and probably could have done pretty well for herself professionally, but our privilege gave her the opportunity to raise us the old-fashioned way. She cooked, she cleaned, but most importantly, she dedicated her time to making sure that my little sister and I wanted for nothing. I always knew that we were lucky. Other kids would tell us so. She was an amazing cook, fun to hang out with, just about as wholesome a woman as you would ever likely to meet. She was an amazing cook, fun to hang out with, just about as wholesome a woman as you were to ever likely meet. But my dad, on the other hand, was something of a button-down psycho. I don't want to go into what happened to prompt their divorce, but let's just say that it involved a lengthy prison sentence, and a bunch of reporters camped outside her house for like a week and a half. My dad turned out to be a terrible person, that's kind of putting it lightly, and discovering that was harder on us than I could ever put into words. I was stunned. My sister was heartbroken, but as much as Mom felt it too, she was our rock during that period. I honestly don't know what we'd have done without her. She did everything she could to shield us from it too, but we knew that she was hurting. She just didn't want to show it. She got so much money in the divorce settlement that she never had to work again, so apart from downsizing our house, life pretty much went on as normal. The pain and anger was still there. They just got quieter and quieter each year until we all just got used to the fact that Dad was never coming home and that he'd never really been home in the first place. About 6 or 7 years go by. I'm approaching 30 while my little sister's in her late teens. I moved out, living and working on the other side of town. Living and working. New Brunswick. Did I say that right that one time, or did I get it completely off? It's Brunswick, that's right. It's termite season? Oh, yikes, your house is it's gonna collapse on itself. I moved out, living and working on the other side of town while my sister is still living at home with Mom. She was taking a year out of school, just taking time to decide what she wanted to study, maybe working part-time somewhere, but mostly just hanging out. One day I'm swapping texts with my mom when she mentions how she and my little sister had been bickering a lot. I asked what about, and she told me that it mostly stemmed from a disagreement about moving out. Mom had downsized into a much smaller house to keep her costs down. A 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom bungalow was a cozy one for... What? Mom had downsized into a much smaller house to keep her costs down. A 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom bungalow that was cozy for one, but pretty cramped for two. She thought my sisters should find a place of her own. My sisters... What? She thought my sister should find a place of her own. My sister, disagreement, catty comments, and... Oh. I don't know. She thought my sister should find a place of her own. My sister disagreed, and catty comments ensued, etc., etc. Nothing entirely out of the ordinary for a grown mother and daughter, but my little sister didn't quite see things that way. According to her, our mom had made some real vicious remarks to her, things that were entirely out of character. I asked her to specify, and she said that Mom had cursed at her. In all my years of knowing her, I had never, ever known Mom to curse out of shoot or dang it, so to hear that she'd used something harsher was definitely kind of a shock. But then again, both me and my sister were basically grown by that point, and by their own admission, they had been arguing a lot. Maybe she'd always cursed like that in front of other adults, but we just never witnessed it. Now, a few more weeks go by and I didn't hear anything else about so-called vicious comments, so I assumed it was just a one-off and forgot about it. I also assumed that a big mitigating factor in any tension between my mom and sister had been the fact that my sister had gotten herself a job. She was working in a restaurant with one of her friends, and from the sounds of it, she was enjoying it and making a respectable amount of money. She'd also very quickly gone from part-time to full-time hours, meaning Mom was home alone more and more. Mom often had friends and relatives over, both for visits and to stay overnight, so as much as she had the house to herself, she wasn't alone all the time. This meant that we didn't have to worry about her, or at least, it meant that I didn't have to worry about her so much as I used to. But then came the phone call that turned my whole world upside down, and it came on one of the most beautiful days of the year. It was sometime in late June, and the weather outside was simply gorgeous, so me and my girlfriend at the time decided to go for a walk through this nature reserve just outside of town. We're just walking along, holding hands, wholesome as can be, when my mom starts going off in my pocket. The caller ID said private number, which my girlfriend dismissed as being spam or something. Any other time, I'd have just hit the red button and just declined the call, and I don't even know how to put the sensation into words, but something in my gut told me that I needed to answer. It turned out to be the cops. Mom had been arrested for breaking one of her friend's arms. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I mean, I literally couldn't. I asked for the cop's ID number, asked where he was calling from, and just in this complete state of denial. The cop was really understanding, and looking back on it was stunningly patient, considering I basically accused him of trying to prank me. He remained patient when I assured him that there must have been some kind of mistake, and that my mother was incapable of doing something like that, especially to one of her own friends. But then the officer reeled off my mom's name, her address, a bunch of other stuff, and then gave me a perfect description of her too. It's only then that I realized that he was serious, that what was happening was real, and suddenly, I needed to sit down. Once I gathered my thoughts a little, I asked the officer what I could do to bail her out or get her some legal counsel, and it's at that point that I realized why the cop had been so patient with me to begin with. There was no bailing Mom out, no getting her legal counsel for the time being. She was being admitted to a secure psychiatric facility for involuntary treatment under the laws laid out in Canada's Mental Health Act, I found out later. What they were telling me is that my mom had suffered a complete nervous breakdown, but not just any old nervous breakdown. Hers was characterized by some extreme aggression and violence. And that's when the head swimming, can't think sort of feeling returned. The words aggressive and violent and my mom, they just weren't computing for me. I couldn't even picture what it might look like. All I could do was ask for, where do we go from here? And I was told that a member of Mom's care team would be in touch and that I'd be able to talk to her and visit soon as possible. After the call ended, I immediately got in touch with my little sister to let her know what had happened. She was just as stunned as I was, but if you remember, she'd also noticed the little crack starting to form, so to her, it was less of a total system shock. I asked if she knew which friend it was whose arm she had broken. She didn't, but she said that she'd get to work figuring out who. My sister was closer with my mom's friends back then, so I'm very grateful that she was there to deal with that side of things. I don't know what I'd have done without her. We had to wait a week to be able to talk to her. The state confiscated her cell phone and gave her some prepaid burner thing that she could use to contact us. I almost missed the call from not really knowing when it would come, but when it did, she actually sounded kind of normal. At first, anyway. When I realized that it was her, I tried to ask how she was, if she needed anything, all the stuff that I'd be waiting to ask her for like a week by that point. She didn't want to know. Instead, she didn't want to know? What are they talking about? Hey, Lynn. Shit, how late am I? How many stories? Ooh, love you. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Good to see you. This is just story one of, like, I want to say there's like 17 stories or something. They're kind of shorter, some of them. But I was able to gather enough here. But thank you. Good to see you. But yeah, we really only are in 32 minutes in. We're solid. Yeah, and I was on a bit of a hot roll there. Richard Strader with the 10 says, hey, just want to say thank you. I had a friend of mine that passed away and been struggling lately. Been listening to you. Help so much. Thank you. Welcome, Richard. I'm sorry to hear that. That's tough, man. I've been watching that old sci-fi show Haven a lot lately, and only recently found out it was based on an old Stephen King book. I love that show. Interesting. I remember there was like an animated show on sci-fi that I used to watch. I forget what that was called, like The Outer Rim or something of that nature. Twitter's how you found out that you're live. Yeah, it's good to follow me on there. Sometimes YouTube doesn't notify. I don't quite know why, but it is what it is. So yeah, Twitter's the John for show. At Let's Read Creepy. Hey Mike, what's going on? Good to see you. Alright, where are we at, y'all? When I realized it was her, I tried to ask how she was, if she needed anything. All the stuff that I'd been waiting to ask her for like a week by that point. She didn't want to know. Instead, she very calmly told me the name and badge number of the police officer who had put her in cuffs, and she then told me to find that officer and spit in his face for disrespecting my mother the way he did. When she hit the word spit, she went from her calm speaking voice to a screech so loud it hurt my ear. I guess it goes without saying at this point, but I'd never heard her sound like that in all the years that I'd known her. And then for her to ask me to spit in a cop's face, it was like she transformed into a completely different person overnight, and it terrified me. I didn't know who she'd hurt, if she was going to jail or some sort of... Wait... I don't fucking know. I don't know. There's like weird grammar in this that just confuses shit out of me.
Mischievous dog.
I want you to get an aquarium. You should get an aquarium. It'd be fun. Dr. Octavius, welcome to the Butter Sock Cult. You now have access to bonus content. Are you still considering making an OnlyFans for not safe for work content? Yeah, but not till I hit 2 million subscribers. So we got to get those numbers up. And I was kind of thinking, I was like kind of curious. I was like, I wonder if it would be beneficial to like make like a higher tier Patreon style thing, you know? I don't know how OnlyFans works and all that kind of shit, you know what I mean? So I wasn't sure if it would just be simpler to make like a not safe for work tier on Patreon or whatever, and just, yeah, I don't know. That'd be so funny though, like to just like introduce that casually, and then it becomes like the main income of the entire channel, just all based around like smut. My OnlyFans would be more popular than Markiplier's. Does he still do it? You have 3 aquariums. That's dope. Like the Patreon idea, but it would be a less app I need to download. That's true, yeah. I'll check out your OnlyFans if you're hitting bongs and doing your freestyle babble. Hibbity dibbity dabbity. Ship jip jabbity. It was like she'd transformed into a completely different person overnight, and it absolutely terrified me. I didn't know who she'd hurt, if she was going to jail or some sort of institution. I didn't know if she'd ever be back to her old self again. But before Mom was calm enough to visit, we got to the bottom of the legal issues that she was facing, which surprisingly were very little. If it wasn't for the obvious mental health crisis that was occurring, Mom would have been charged with aggravated assault and assaulting a police officer. As it turned out, she both punched and bit, you read that right, the cop that was trying to arrest her. Again, I was just in total shock hearing that she'd attacked a police officer, but the good news was they weren't going to charge her. The officer I spoke to said that there wasn't a jury in the country that wouldn't return a not guilty by temporary insanity verdict. They knew my mom was acting extremely out of the ordinary, and they weren't about to make the situation worse by throwing formal charges on top. Not long after, we were permitted to visit for the first time. Me and my little sister showed up to the hospital, more nervous and anxious than we'd ever been in our entire lives. I tried to be the best big brother that I could be and stay strong for her, but the reality was more like the other way around. Let's just say Mom wasn't ready for a visit. The hospital staff believed that she was, but seeing her children really set her off. Some people might think it's overly dramatic of me to describe Mom's transformation as being like that of a werewolf, but in my heart of hearts, that's exactly what it felt like. Before our eyes, she went from being the sweet, wholesome mom we'd always known, and she transformed into that terrifying creature that I'd only heard on the phone up until that point. When she learned that I'd tracked down the officer who'd quote-unquote disrespected her, read as the one she bit, she got so angry with me that my sister called in the orderlies to restrain her. That moment, seeing the woman who'd raised me being ready to claw my eyes out, all because of some chemical imbalance in her brain, I guess, that was just some true terror for me. I left feeling catatonic. My mom was dead, but her heart was still beating. The woman that had raised me was gone, and she was never coming back. And that's what I believed that Do I have Twitch? I do not have Twitch, no. I never really felt motivated to go create one. Yeah, my OnlyFans is just me and the steel drum. It would be a funny place just to dump content to, though. Just to mess around with. But that's what I believed at my very lowest point. And it's a feeling that other people are going to feel at some point if they're lucky enough to have a friend or loved one go through a mental health crisis, that is. There is a way back. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. You just need to stay strong. Through medication, therapy, and a lot of patience, Mom got back to normal. I won't lie, it was a slow process and it was emotionally exhausting in the extreme, but we found a little bit of light in the darkness and we clung to it. Mom is better now, much better. Like you'd never have guessed that she went through this sort of crisis from just looking at her. But I guess that's what's so scary about mental illness in the first place. It could strike anyone, no matter how stable and secure they seem. A person can only take so much stress, and when they break, it can be scarier than any ghost or creature story. Creature story, I'll just say ghost story. A person can only take so much stress, and when they break, it can be scarier than any ghost story. Screw up the TikTok algorithm, fill it with toes and cheek pics. Yeah. I haven't posted on there in a while. I feel like I should, but I forgot to post earlier today I wanted to post another short. I don't know if you guys have watched any of the shorts that I posted on the YouTube channel, but I'm doing a bit of a test on the algorithm to see if that's working okay, and I forgot to post today, but then when I remembered, I didn't want to post and send out notifications and shit, both for the live stream and this. It would just potentially confuse people. I gotta cue up the in-between story sound. I know, I gotta get that somewhere. I wonder where. Wonder what happened to the mom in that story, though. It just seemed like it was so random. They just went crazy. Stephanie with the 5 says, Joel, Jacob, Brandon, Jolene, and I are staying in the mountain vacation home that Jacob brought 5 years ago. I love our vacation home. Nice. That's pretty fucking cool. We all need a little vacation home. Where do we get one of those? Post your older stories that way you just read. I guess that would be good too, yeah. Bring those out of the woodwork. What do you find more scary, an empty shopping mall or grocery store? Probably a shopping mall, just because, I don't know, it's a lot more creepy. What got you into the occult and scary, Joel? I don't know, honestly. It was just, I started the channel and I was reading, because reading was something I thought I could do long term for a YouTube channel. And then I stumbled across channels like Mr. Creepypasta and stuff like that. I was like, oh, okay. So there's this whole community, and it seems that people were into scary stories. Did I used to read Creepypasta? Yeah, I started out with Creepypasta kind of when I finally started to get some traction doing collabs with channels and stuff like that. And then then I got into true scary stories whenever Mr. Nightmare and that kind of thing was popping up. And I've slowly incorporated other things like true crime in there as well, and just different interesting topics. Abandoned mall or Costco? That's a real question. I don't even know if we have a Costco around here. It seems to be very popular everywhere, but I know we got Walmart. What is it with your voice? It's downright hypnotic. You're getting very, very comfortable. I remember back when I was a kid, my mom took me out shopping one day, but before we hit the stores, we had to stop at an ATM. I remember Mom was using the machine and I was kind of bored, so I was just playing around in my own little world when suddenly something catches my attention. Maybe only a few steps away from the ATM. Maybe only a few steps away from the ATM was a street corner, and as I'm just messing around, minding my own business, I see a face literally peek around the corner, all wide-eyed, staring at my mom for a few seconds before it disappeared. Maybe only a few steps away from the ATM was a street corner, and as I'm just messing around and minding my own business, I see a face literally peeking around the corner, all wide-eyed, staring at my mom. Let me just fucking move this to ChatGPT and fix the grammar. I can't fucking stand this shit when it's fix this grammar. Stephanie Bowling with the 10 says, our mountain vacation home cost Jacob a lot of money to buy because our vacation home has 5 bedrooms and a living room fireplace. It's a beautiful home that Jacob bought with his money. That's awesome. Jacob is swimming in the cash. A hypnotist on the side. That would be an interesting video to make for like a bonus video. ChatGPT is just like writing a fucking wall of text right now. Oh well. I remember when I was a kid, my mom took me out shopping one day, but before we hit the stores, we had to stop at an ATM. I remember my mom using the machine, and I was kind of bored, so I was just playing around in my own little world when suddenly something caught my attention. Just a few steps away from the ATM was a street corner. As I was messing around, minding my own business, I saw a face literally peeking around the corner, wide-eyed, staring at my mom before disappearing. Motherfucker. Staring at my mom before disappearing a few seconds later. I remember saying, "Mom?" And she just replied, "Not now, honey, Mom's busy." I tried to tell her that someone had peeked at her, but I only managed to say, "There's a man and he's..." Before she cut me off with, "I'm sure there is, honey. Just a second, okay? Mommy's busy." I did as I was told since there was no one watching her anymore. But then, as soon as she spoke, the face appeared again. I tried to turn her attention to it, but she was already done with the ATM, buttoning up her purse and finally able to give her full attention. Can you add paragraphs to that? Sure. Organization and readability. Sorry, dudes. I don't know why. Like normally when it fixes the grammar, it like makes the paragraphs automatically, but Swedish action. The ATM disappear. That fear video and the bonus content was great. I liked it a lot. Thank you, Bia. I'm glad you liked it. It was fun to make, and I don't know. It's just something I feel like I could listen to. You know, I could imagine people listening to quite often and getting something out of it each time, or getting a little bit out of it each time. Something. Okay. Where was I just did as I was told. Besides, there was no one watching her anymore. But then no sooner than she's spoken, the face appeared again. What happened next all happened so fast that it's basically a big blur in my memory. The face appeared again, so I tried to turn my mom's attention to it, but she was done with the ATM, buttoning up her purse, and could finally give me her full attention. She turned to look where I was pointing, but by that time, the face had come all the way around. She turned to look where I was pointing, but by that time, the face had come all the way around the corner with a body attached to it, and he was heading directly for my mom. I remember seeing this one final look of fear on her face before the guy hit her in it. Hit her in it? What? I remember seeing this one final look of fear on her face before the guy hit her. She hit the pavement like a ton of bricks, totally out cold, before the guy just ripped her purse out of her grip. I remember crying and screaming, then how the guy grabbed me by the shirt and shouted, "Shut the F up," in my face before he walked off. He didn't even run. He just walked off like punching a woman and stealing her purse was the most normal thing in the world to him. I honestly thought my mom was dead. She had blood all around her mouth and she was completely unconscious, and no amount of screaming or shaking seemed to wake her up. She was making this really scary sound with her breathing too, something that sounded like snoring but was anything but. Obviously, she did wake up, but not before some kind strangers started pouring in to comfort me and give her medical attention. I didn't think that I'd ever see her again, but by that evening, she was home and safe again after a brief visit to a doctor's office. I guess this is an experience that a lot of kids... What? I guess this is an experience that a lot of kids have gone through. What, getting their mom getting knocked out? Wait, is it? I'm so confused. Stephanie Bowling with the 10 says, I'm in the master bedroom listening to you while Jacob is showing Brandon Triple H's WrestleMania 17 entrance with Motorhead playing his entrance music live. Brandon is singing along and dancing. That's awesome. He's going to be a WWE freak fan. I guess this experience, I'm confused what they're trying to say. I guess this is an experience that a lot of, maybe they meant isn't. I guess this isn't an experience that a lot of kids have gone through, with one being too many if you ask me. I'm also pretty sure that there's kids out there who went through way worse things happening to their moms, but that there was, what the fuck? I'm also pretty sure that there's kids out there who went through... I'm also pretty sure that there's kids out there who went through... Jesus Christ, why can I not read this? I'm also pretty sure that there's kids out there who went through way worse things happening to their moms, but that there was my thing. These days, it just makes me angry to think about, but back then, I don't think I'd ever been so scared in my entire life. You often quote Ric Flair. Woo! Woo! Didn't Ric Flair get into a fucking plane accident and survived? And then come back and win the title? Some crazy shit. My daughters are 5 years apart in age. One evening, I was holding my young daughter, months old at the time, while sitting on the sofa. My older daughter ate something very sort of lemony and citrusy and then wanted some milk. I told her that those two things might not go well together, but insisted. I told her those things probably won't go too well together, but she insisted, so she had some milk. The older daughter comes to sit next to me, and the next thing I know, she starts puking all over me. My instinctive reaction was to jump up out of the way, and that motion resulted in my younger daughter rolling off my lap and onto the floor. She hit the metal leg of the... What the fuck is going on? She hit the metal leg of the coffee table, and when I frantically picked her up, her eye socket started filling with blood. At this point, I'm screaming for my wife to get the car keys, and we go screeching off to the emergency room. It turns out my daughter just got a tiny cut on her face right above the corner of her eye, and the blood flowed onto her eye and pooled there, making it look like the blood was coming out of her eye. But Jesus Christ, it scared the living bejesus out of me. Alright, I guess that's a story. I mean, it would be scary, I guess, being a parent, but it's just like... What's today's date and what time is it? May 7th, 10:19 p.m. I've done this when I was younger with clementines and milk whilst in a moving car. Next thing you know, fireworks all over my parents at the front. Does that happen? You drink something citrus and then milk and you just vomit? Alright, I'm a mom and I'm stoned. I can't hear these stories. It will kill my high. I'm start doing laundry. Okay. No worries. When Joel reminds you live in different time zones, no worries. East Coast time zone, best time zone. Becoming a mom has been one of the most rewarding things that's ever happened to me. Having kids increases your capacity to love, but it also increases your capacity for fear, too. My kids make me the happiest I've ever been, but they also fill me with a kind of fear that I didn't even know existed. My sons were about 2 and 4 years old when their pet goldfish died. I attempted to use the situation as an opportunity to discuss death and mortality. After I finished my explanation, my 4-year-old looked up at me with big blue eyes and asked, "Mommy, someday, will you die?" My heart filled with love and a little sadness, knowing that this was one of those pivotal moments when the first bit of childhood innocence is lost, and I told him, "Yeah, someday Mommy will die." "Good," he said with a totally deadpan expression and walked out of the room. Later, when we were about to flush the fish, he asked if we could eat him instead. I said no, we don't eat pets because we love them, and he replied with, "When you die, I'm gonna eat you." What scared me was the fact that he was deadly serious. In his mind, that made all the sense in the world, and I reminded him of how tall and In his mind, that made all the sense in the world, and it reminded me of how tall and ordered. Oh, what the fuck? Nip with the 2 says, "Thanks, Night. No worries, Nip. Take care. I'm your baby daddy. Are you pregnant?" Making a tiny basket for my rescue mouse, and so cute I'm going to cry. That's cool. You rescued a mouse? Was it caught in a little cheese trap? In his mind, that made all the sense in the world, and it reminded me of how tall and ordered child rearing really is. Child reeling, fuck. In his mind, that made all the sense in the world, and it reminded me of how tall and ordered child rearing really is, especially for boy moms like me. You're taking these little savages and you're turning them into human beings. If you succeed, it's something. If you succeed, it's actually kind of sacred. But if you fail, you're unleashing some real monsters on the world. For real, for real. So, yeah, Dahmer Jr. Hope you're well on this fine Sunday evening. Thank you, Mama B. Good to see you. I took some niacin and, you get that flush and shit, but, for me, the niacin kind of, I don't know, almost, gives me chills. Wait, was it, oh no, it's not 17 stories, it's 12, sorry. Change that. 12 stories. You get a new kitty, but he's hiding under the bed. Uh-oh. He's scared. You gotta pull him out of there and force love upon him. Nice, and makes you itchy. That's what, yeah, I'm itchy, but I'm also cold, which kind of sucks. He's giving you the number 15s. Nice, and heats me up. I don't know, it's almost like a fever-esque feeling, sometimes it would heat me up, but then it's also it just makes me chilly for some reason. Where the fuck was I? I named my first daughter after my maternal grandmother, who died just a few weeks before she was born. It seemed like a fitting tribute. I was always very close with her, and we have something of a naming tradition in our family. Besides, I always thought Maggie was a very cute name, with the very dignified option of Margaret to give an air of wisdom and sophistication to it. I ran the idea past my husband, who thought about it for about 2 seconds before saying, "Sure." So Maggie it was. Cut to a few days before her 5th birthday. I'd put her down to bed just after 8:30, then maybe a half an hour later I walked past her door to hear her making frightening noises during her sleep. I pushed open her door a little, expecting her to wake up from a nightmare any second, but she eventually settled down and went back to sleeping restfully. Or so I thought. Right as I'm edging out of the room as quietly as I could, I hear my little girl say, "Mommy, is that you?" I told her yes, but that she should go back to sleep. Then, and I swear to Jesus, this is exactly what she said. She's like, "Do you remember when I was the mommy and you were the baby?" At the time, I just smiled at her sleepy-brained question, then once again told her to go back to sleep as softly and gently as I could. After that, I closed her door, then went on with my nightly routine. It wasn't until later on that night that I mentally revisited what my daughter had asked me. She was very much in that phase of carting around a baby doll and pretending that she was a mommy, so that's where my mind went in the moment. But later, whoops. But later, after reminding myself that I'd named my daughter after her great-grandmother, who died just a few months before she was born, I felt this chill come over me. I'm not a believer in the supernatural, but even so, the thought honestly sent a little shiver down my spine. I wasn't out of my mind with I wasn't frightened out of my mind or anything, but I definitely wanted to ask what she meant with her little comment, even if it meant anything at all. But then when I asked her, my daughter had zero recollection of asking me that question. She didn't remember having a nightmare. She didn't remember waking up, and she didn't remember asking me the mommy-baby question. I just put it down to her being half asleep or whatever, and she quite obviously wasn't being possessed by the spirit of her dead great-grandmother. But still, I sometimes wonder if she'd have asked me that if I'd named her. But still, I sometimes wondered if she'd have asked me that if I'd have named her just about anything else. Probably, but it sure seems like the basis for a good ghost story, that's for sure. Okay. Poor Kay. Poor Kay the pig. Having kids is scary and sometimes in ways you never expected. For example, one night when my son was 3, I was tucking him into bed and he says to me, "Goodbye, Mommy." I corrected him and told him, "We say goodnight at nighttime, honey." To which he responds, "Not tonight. It's goodbye." Oops. To which he responds, "No, tonight, it's goodbye." Then he closed his eyes and almost instantly went off to sleep, in the way that only kids and old folks seem to do. I sat in the corner and watched him breathing for maybe 20 or 30 minutes. I know he didn't mean it that way, but good God, the way he said it just kind of hit different. I checked on him a couple of more times that night just to make sure that he was still breathing, and like I said, being a parent can be really scary sometimes. Kids say the darndest things, but they also say the most frightening things, too. Okay. The scariest thing my kid has ever said or done was on a vacation when she was maybe 5 or 6 years old. Fuck. The scariest thing my kid has ever said or done was on a vacation when she was maybe 5 or 6 years old. I figured it might be a good time to give her an impromptu swimming lesson, so I picked her... Hey, Erica Williams, welcome to the Buttersock Cult. You now have access to bonus content. That was a story, I guess. So we got some short ones tonight, but I also have some true crime to fill in. It's kind of a weird topic, but I figured Mother's Day is, it's around the corner. You got to jump on it when you can. I figured it might be a good time to give her an impromptu swimming lesson, so I picked her up some water wings and we ended up splashing around in the shallow end of the pool to get her used to the water. She went from a little apprehensive to absolutely loving it in minutes, and I knew the water wings would be off in no time. Then, later on in the vacation, we were messing around with the water wings and I was throwing her ever so slightly into the deep end before she'd come doggy paddling. Shanus, welcome, or not welcome, but rather thank you for gifting a membership to Farm Sim Freak. You now have access to bonus content, Farm Sim. Thank you, Shanus. And Stephanie Bowling with the 10 says, today Brandon told me and Jacob, Mommy, Daddy, I don't want you to ever leave me. Jacob told him, son, one day your mother and father will pass away. One day Jacob cried, but accepted his father's word. Nice. It's good to hear. Thank you, Stephanie. What's up, Klaus? Then, later on in the vacation, we were messing around with the water wings, and I was throwing her ever so slightly into the deep end before she'd come doggy paddling back to me and demand to be thrown again. Now finally, when my arms were too tired to throw her anymore, I told her, sorry, but I can't. And she just sort of sighed, rolled her eyes, and then said, go to sleep, Mommy, and pushed my head under the water. She didn't try to hold it there or anything. She didn't say it all sinister, but seeing her make the lost connection... What? The lost connection? She didn't try to hold it there or anything. She didn't say it sinisterly or anything, but seeing her make the connection between not being able to breathe, going to sleep, and dying, it was just such a creepy moment for me as a mom on so many levels. These are almost like too quick, you know what I mean? I feel like they don't really like flesh out into anything actually scary, per se. Just want to thank you for 7 years of entertainment of the best narrations of all time. Thank you, Klaus. Appreciate that. I do be trying. Stephanie Bowling with the 5 says, even though Brandon was sad about me and Jacob passing away, Brandon accepted his father's word and said, I will love both of you as long as I live. Well, that's nice. It's a lot for a kid to take in all at one time. But thank you for the 5. How do you get gifted? I think you have to like turn something on in your settings on Google. Having my second child was wild. Literally about a week before my due date, we ended up having to have our cat put down due to a nasty illness. Our 5-year-old daughter was very upset about it, but we told her it was okay because soon she'd be having a baby brother to take care of. The idea didn't quite jazz her like we thought it would, so we promised to get her another cat as soon as we could. Suddenly, everything was all better, and she's dreaming up names for her new kitty while brainstorming what she wanted it to look like. Now, cut about 2 weeks after our son was born, and my daughter asked me, Mommy, is Charlie going to die like Jasper did? Charlie being her baby brother and Jasper being our dearly departed cat. It was a weird time to have the death conversation, I know, but I seized on the opportunity and tried to be a good parent and just said, yeah, everybody dies like Jasper, baby. It's sad, but it's just the way of the world. Yeah, I guess these are all just creepy kid. I guess it kind of makes sense, but not very fucking poggers. Yes, everybody dies like Jasper, baby. It's sad, but it's just the way the world is. I felt like I'd pulled the pin on... I genuinely felt like I pulled the pin out of a grenade and was just waiting for it to explode. We'd never really talked about death before, and I know it hits some kids much harder than most. I expected her to burst into tears and hug me as her little mind got to grips with the grim inevitable, but instead, she just said one word before grinning and walking away. Good. Okay, so my son was 6 years old when he asked me one of the creepiest things I'd ever been asked. He asked, "Mommy, can you see things through the black circles in my eyes?" I told him no, that I couldn't see through them because they're not like glass. My son sort of wrinkles his nose in frustration and then thinks of another way to ask the question. "Can you see what I see, like inside my head?" It's the kind of thing that if a 40-year-old son asked you... It's the kind of thing that if a 40-year-old asked you, you'd think that they were crazier than... What the fuck? It's the kind of thing that if a 40-year-old asked you, you'd think that they were crazier than an outhouse rat. But if your 6-year-old says this to you... It's the kind of thing that if a 40-year-old asked you, you'd think that they were crazier than an outhouse rat. But if your 6-year-old asks it to you, you're supposed to just brush it off as crap that kids say. The trouble is, it hit me just the same, and I know he was still very young, but I worried if it was a warning sign of something down the line. Now here's where the story gets interesting and not so creepy. I ended up contacting a child psychologist and was hugely relieved when I found out that, as creepy as it was, that sort of question is surprisingly normal for a kid his age. It's an example of lack of differentiation, as the doctor put it, meaning my son hadn't worked out that my mind and his mind were two separate things. To put it simply, it's the reason you can tell a kid that age, if you misbehave at school, I'll know, and they'll actually believe you. It's also why some kids, especially boys, often reply to, "What did you do at school today?" with nothing or stuff instead of going into detail and sharing it with you. To them, you basically already know what they did because, like my son, you're already inside their head. All right. Hey, not Jackie Chan with the 5. Thank you, brother. Appreciate ya. Thank you. And Stephanie Bowling with the 5 says, Jacob had the death conversation with Brandon today, and Brandon was sad, but he wants to love me and Jacob as long as he live. Take care, Joe. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you. My mom tells me this story about my childhood sometimes. I don't know how true it is, but it sure as hell creeps me out. One day, my dad comes home with this box of toys. Not a big box, but a box nonetheless, and I was ecstatic, actually. Wait, what is it? One day, my dad comes home with this box of toys. Not a big box, but a box nonetheless, and I was ecstatic. I remember this, and I remember the fort that I picked out because I used to play with it a whole lot. I also remember my dad taking the fort away from me, and although I can't remember why, this is what my mom says happened. One day, she finds me playing with the fort, along with a few action figures and whatnot, and I'm talking to myself. But then she realizes that I'm not talking to myself, and I'm not talking to the action figures either. It sounded like I was talking to a person. Mom asked who I was talking to, and according to her, this is what I said in reply. "I'm talking to the boy whose fort this is." She said... She says she laughed, thinking it was just some smart aleck way of saying that I was talking to myself before lovingly telling me that it was my fort, no one else's. And that's when I tell her that she's wrong, that I can hear the kid whose fort it is and they're asking for it back. Mom doesn't freak out. She was definitely taken aback by the comment, but she wasn't spooked or scared or anything. But then as the day goes on, what I said starts eating at her, and so she goes to ask my dad where exactly he got the box of toys. He'd already told her that it was a garage sale, but she wanted to know where this garage sale was and keeps poking and prodding until my dad goes back to find out why they were practically giving all that stuff away. And this goes on for a while until finally he goes off to investigate, so she'll stop nagging him. He comes back not long after, boxes up all the toys he'd given me, and then just throws them in the trash. Obviously, I'm pretty shaken up, especially because they wouldn't tell me why they'd taken the toys from me. And it's not till many years later that I find out why, when my mom tells this story on a family vacation. The toys had come from a garage sale organized by a realtor who had recently purchased the house for a rock-bottom price. Why so cheap, you might ask? Well, that's because a triple murder-suicide. Well, that's because a triple murder had taken place there. Some guy had returned home from work early to find his wife in bed with another man. She shoots them. She or he? Jesus Christ. Some guy has returned from home from fucking fuck. You're gonna see the new Guardians of the Galaxy in about an hour. Nice, AA Ron. I hope you enjoy it. Some guy had returned from... Some guy had returned home from work early to find his wife in bed with another man. He shoots them both, then turns the gun on himself. But before he does, he shoots and kills his young son. God knows why, but that's what happened. Which meant the toys that I'd been playing with had belonged to that kid. I don't believe in ghosts or haunted toys or anything like that, but neither did my mom and dad way back when this all happened. But some things you just don't take chances with. I can tell you as a parent, the way you evaluate risky. Stephanie Bowling with the 5 says, before I go lay down for some sleep, I can't wait to give birth to my twin daughters in September. Jacob is very excited to meet our twins. Take care. Thank you, Stephanie. I'm excited for you. You guys are pumping out the kids. It's crazy. So how was the Mario movie? It was alright. You know? It kind of was what it was. It was just like a movie for kids and stuff. My buddy has an 8-year-old kid. He had a son that we went with, and he enjoyed it. Oh fuck, I just knocked my mic all the way over here. What the fuck? I'm sorry, I feel like I have like no energy today. I don't quite know why. I mean, I have like energy, but I just like have nothing interesting to say. I can tell you as a parent, the way you evaluate risk completely changes once you have kids, and sometimes that can manifest. I can tell you as a parent, the way you evaluate risk completely changes once you have kids, and sometimes that can manifest itself in some unusual ways, like a rational person throwing away some garage sale toys because there's a slim chance that they might just be haunted. Deep's on the chair behind me, getting that niacin drop. Alright, now we're on to some true crime stuff. That kind of sucks, actually, because I don't know. Sometimes, like, I know that the true crime shit doesn't really, like, keep a lot of people's attention. So kind of realizing that all the other, like, personal stories were kind of either, like, really fucking short or all, like, creepy shit that kids say is, like, not super poggers, because I feel like people are going to lose interest in this video pretty fast, probably. It's so fucking annoying. Whatever. You do love true crime? Alright, well, that's good, yeah. Maybe maybe I can go to the subreddit or something, or over email or something, and find another mom-related story. Most of you fall asleep too anyways. Well, that's good, yeah. Scary Mad Libs. Straight poggers, no capping. On the afternoon of Tuesday, February 19th of 2008, 9-year-old Shannon Matthews was on her way home from school in her small hometown of Dewsbury, West Yorkshire. Westmore Junior School was just half a mile from Shannon's home, meaning her journey should have taken no more than 5 to 10 minutes. Yet hours went by and she was nowhere to be seen. At exactly 6:48 p.m., Shannon's mother contacted the West Yorkshire police to report her missing. Aided by friends and neighbors, a terrified Karen Matthews had already conducted an extensive search of the surrounding neighborhood. She was convinced her daughter had been abducted. Shannon's disappearance occurred just 9 months after... Hey, Jacob with the 10. When Stephanie gives birth to her twin daughters Ashley and Michelle in September, we will be parents to 4 children. I'm going to watch John Wick. Take care, Joe. I'll be seeing you. Have fun, Jacob. John Wick's a good one. Shannon's disappearance occurred just 9 months after that of 3-year-old Madeleine McCann, a case which has horrified and enthralled the British public ever since. Keen to avoid a repeated incident, West Yorkshire police put together a 200-man task force headed up by Detective Superintendent Annie Brennan. Keen to avoid repeated incident, West Yorkshire police put together a 200-man task force headed up by Detective Superintendent Andy Brendan. I don't know. I don't know why I can't just say shit right. Holy fuck. Can you lead your voice for a guided meditation? Sure. That'd be fun. The shotguns in John Wick 4 were badass. Yeah, those were cool as fuck. That whole scene was nuts. It was like bird's eye view. Bird's eye view, and it was just like fucking the incendiary bullshit. Whatever they had in there, it was white phosphorus. It was fucking crazy. Keen to avoid repeated incident, West Yorkshire police put together a 200-man task force headed up by Detective Superintendent Andy Brennan, and together they set about searching for Shannon. Over the course of the next few weeks, officers questioned over 1,500 motorists and searched almost 3,000 houses and other places of residence. When little progress was made, the task force swelled up to 250 police officers, 60 detectives from the UK's Criminal Investigation Department, and more than half of Britain's highly trained victim recovery dogs. It was the largest regional police investigation since the case of the Yorkshire Ripper, 30 years previously, and much like Madeleine McCann's disappearance, the search for Shannon captured national attention. One newspaper offered a reward of £20,000 for information leading to Shannon's safe return, an amount which more than doubled due to generous donations from the public. Numerous other public appeals were launched while Karen was invited to appear on a widely circulated morning show in order to raise awareness. She appeared on the show's March 7th edition, but after allowing Karen to appeal to the public for information, the presenters paused. She appeared on the show's March 7th edition, but after allowing Karen to appeal to the public for information, the presenters posited some rather accusatory questions. One implied that Karen's current boyfriend was responsible. Another suggested Shannon's biological father might be the one holding her. Karen defended both men, saying neither were capable of such a thing, but following the interview's conclusion, the public accusations continued. Karen's parents suggested that her boyfriend, 20-year-old Craig Meehan, okay. Karen's parents suggested that her boyfriend, 20-year-old Craig Meehan. Karen's parents suggested that her boyfriend, 20-year-old Craig Meehan, was known to be a violent man with a short temper, while tabloid journalists pointed out the fact that Karen had borne 7 children to 5 different fathers. Coverage and commentary relating to the case sparked a great deal of public discourse. I don't know why I struggle so fucking much with the true crime shit. Like, that should be the shit that just, like, flows out of my mouth. I don't know. Coverage and commentary relating to the case sparked a great deal of public discussion on how it was being handled. Inevitably, Shannon's case was compared with Madeleine McCann's, and some argued that the media wouldn't have dared suggest a prim and proper middle-class family would be involved in their own daughter's disappearance. They claimed the interview on morning TV had... They claimed the interview on morning TV had cruel overtones, and that the presenter's questions went far beyond necessity, lifting the lid on an uncomfortable, class-based hypocrisy in British society. Yet while debate raged, the police task force was working itself into a state of exhaustion, and right when the arguments on class divides were reaching a boiling point, they made a stunning announcement. At approximately 12:30 p.m. on March 14th of 2008, police officers conducted a search of an apartment belonging to 39-year-old Michael Donovan. Donovan lived in the small village of Batley Car. I don't know, Batley. I have no idea. He brought pizza using Joel's credit card. Damn, nice. The public card. The public debit card. Have you watched the TV show Under the Dome? No, what's that about? I don't really watch anything. Donovan lived in a small village of Batley... Donovan lived in a small village of Batley Car. Donovan lived in the small village of Batley Car, just a mile north of Dewsbury, and opening his door to a group of police officers, he became visibly nervous. The officers detained him, and while scouring his residence for any sign of their missing girl, they came across a small compartment under Donovan's bed. It was padlocked. When the officers cut off the lock and pried open the compartment, a collective sigh of relief could be heard. Lying curled up in the compartment, weak but still alive, was 9-year-old Shannon Matthews. Her 24-day ordeal was finally over. Michael Donovan was immediately arrested at the scene, while Shannon was placed under the protection of the police and local social services department. Many expected Shannon to be immediately returned to her mother, but questions were raised when the police exercised the rarely utilized Section 46 of the 1989 Children's Act, which allowed Shannon to remain in their care for up to 3 days. When these 3 days expired, Karen consented to her daughter being held by local family services on a purely voluntary basis. There, Shannon was questioned for several weeks, with the sessions lasting no longer than 10 minutes at a time to avoid undue stress and trauma. The interview was also made up to look like a school classroom, a move that often reassured other victims of abuse. The details of the police investigation remained confidential, but there were no surprises when Michael Donovan was charged with kidnapping. Yet a second arrest raised some serious questions as to how and why Shannon was abducted, questions which fed into the public's more lurid suspicions. On April 2nd of 2008, Karen Matthews' boyfriend, Craig Meehan, was arrested on suspicion of possessing indecent images of children. The arrest came after police searched Meehan's computer in connection with Shannon's disappearance, and he was later convicted on 11 counts of possessing indecent images of children. The revelation stunned the police. Oh, fuck. Get a shot of espresso. I drank too much coffee today. I was fasting today, and I don't know, I had a cup of coffee with espresso and then another cup of coffee. Just because it's the only thing to consume during that time. Shanus, thank you for the gifted membership to Salon Dentalaplan. Under the dome is a huge invisible dome appears surrounding a town. I'm on season 1 of 3 so far. People think it's the government or aliens. Actors from the Breaking Bad appear there. Okay, interesting. The revelation stunned the The revelation stunned the British public, but near I don't know. I just can't fucking pronounce shit. Can't move my stupid fucking mouth. The revelation stunned the British public, but not nearly as much as the one that came just 4 days later. The arrest of Karen Matthews. What? The revelation stunned the British public, but not. Need some chapstick? No, it's not even that. I'm my lips are lubed, but it's almost making it worse for some reason. I'm too lubed. I'm excessively lubed right now. I just can't fucking visualize the words for some reason. The revelation stunned the British public, but not nearly as much as the one that came just 4 days later. The arrest of Karen Matthews, Shannon's own mother, was front-page news all over the British Isles. Newspapers detailed how she'd been detained on the grounds of child neglect, as well as perverting the course of justice. Yet at her hearing in September of 2008, those charges ballooned to kidnapping and false imprisonment. The exact details of Shannon's abduction hadn't been made public yet, but nevertheless, the charges painted a grimly detailed picture of what transpired. Jeez, fuck. The exact details of Shannon's abduction hadn't yet been made public, but nevertheless, the charges painted a grimly detailed picture of what had transpired. I had a fucking spider on my headphone. I had to check it for spiders. There's spiders under my skin! No! Okay. With a side of niacin. I don't know. I just have no fucking inspiration lately. I don't even know. Newspapers detailed how she'd been detained on the grounds of child neglect, as well as perverting the course of justice. Yet at her hearing in September of 2008, those charges ballooned to kidnapping and false imprisonment. The exact details of Shannon's abduction hadn't been made public yet, but nevertheless, the charges painted a grimly detailed picture of what had transpired. The exact details of Shannon's abduction hadn't been made public yet, but nevertheless, the charges painted a grimly detailed picture of what had transpired. Transpired. Why the fuck again? The exact details of Shannon's abduction hadn't been made public yet, but nevertheless, the charges painted a grimly detailed picture of what had transpired. Karen Matthews had been complicit in the abduction of her own 9-year-old daughter. At Michael Donovan's trial in November of 2008, the court heard that whilst Shannon had been in captivity, she'd been drugged to keep her pliable and compliant. During the first 24 hours after she went missing, Shannon had been tied to a roof beam up in the small attic of Donovan's apartment. Take a vacation? I don't even fucking know, dude. I don't even know. Two million OnlyFans. Yeah, you guys gotta go spread the word, get me up there. On November 13th, what the fuck? How did I skip that? Why did I fucking... Oh my god. At Michael Donovan's trial in November of 2008, the court heard that whilst Shannon had been in captivity, she'd been drugged to keep her pliable and compliant. During the first 24 hours after she went missing, Shannon had been tied to a roof beam up in the small attic of Donovan's apartment, and was only later transferred to the hiding place under his bed. The court later heard that Karen Matthews had been the plan's mastermind, claiming that they could make at least £50,000 from faking her daughter's abduction. Karen then reached out to the charity Madeline's Fund, named after Madeleine McCann, in an effort to pilfer funds intended for legitimate missing children's cases. Karen also believed that additional money could be fraudulently secured through public appeals and charitable donations. On November 13th, a forensic toxicologist told the court that tests on Shannon's hair showed she'd received weekly doses of the sedative temazepam for almost 2 years. Some believe that this was to raise Shannon's tolerance to the drug, diminishing the chances of an overdose when... Batsy with the gifted membership to Master. Thank you, Batsy girl.
Mischievous dog.
Oh, fuck. Normally I don't even start a stream till now, and I don't know. My brain is just frizzy schmizzied. Some believe that this was to raise Shannon's tolerance to the drug, diminishing the chances of an overdose when the time came to fake her abduction, while others argued it was routine treatment at the hands of a neglectful, uncaring mother. When Michael Donovan took the stand, he claimed that Karen had asked him to look after her daughter for a few days, saying he'd been handsomely rewarded. Saying he'd be handsomely rewarded if he did so. He also claimed to have wanted to back out of the scheme when he realized what it actually entailed, but was so frightened by Karen and her... He also claimed to have wanted to back out of the scheme when he realized what it actually entailed, but was so frightened by Karen and her abusive boyfriend that he complied with their demands. Karen Matthews was the next to take the stand, where she denied having anything to do with her daughter's disappearance. This was in direct contradiction to her initial admissions that she'd been central to the plot. She claimed that Craig Meehan, her then boyfriend, was the plot's mastermind, and that he'd ordered her to take the blame for what had happened. In response, the prosecution reminded the courtroom that Karen Matthews had told 5 different stories from that point, each detailing a different chain of events, and could therefore not be trusted to tell the truth. Her testimony, as characterized, was characterized as lie after lie after lie. The truth was clear for all to see. Karen Matthews was a monster, a woman who had put her own daughter. God, I keep just skipping syllables. The truth was clear for all to see. Karen Matthews was a monster, a woman who had put her own daughter through unimaginable suffering, all for monetary gain. On December 4th of 2008, Karen and Michael Donovan were both found guilty of kidnapping, false imprisonment, and perverting the course of justice. The plan had been to fake a scenario in which Michael Donovan appeared to rescue Shannon from Dewsbury Market, in which case he'd be eligible for the $50,000. Dewsbury. The plan had been to fake a scenario in which Michael Donovan appeared to rescue. I don't know why. The plan had been to fake a scenario in which Michael Donovan appeared to rescue. Why does that sound like grammatically incorrect? Appeared to rescue. The plan has been. I don't know. The plan had been to fake a scenario in which Michael Donovan appeared to rescue Shannon from Dewsbury Market, in which case he'd be eligible for the $50,000. The plan had been to fake a scenario in which Michael Donovan appeared to rescue Shannon from Dewsbury Market, in which case he'd be eligible for the £50,000 reward. The money would then be split 50-50 between Donovan and Karen Matthews. Their conviction came with an 8-year sentence. Karen was released in April of 2012 after serving only half her sentence. On the other hand, Michael Donovan served only a third of his term after it became increasingly clear that he'd been intimidated into carrying out Karen's plan. Shannon received intense psychiatric treatment in the aftermath of her ordeal. Shannon received intense psychiatric treatment in the aftermath of her ordeal. Being abducted and drugged would traumatize anyone, but young Shannon had to wrestle with the fact that it was her own mother who'd engineered something so diabolical. She was placed into foster care, raised far away from the glare of the media, and has since been given a new identity. The same applied to Karen Matthews' other children, who had all relocated to different parts of the country in order to begin new lives. It's the least they could be offered. It's the least they could have been offered. The only silver lining to a dark cloud which will hang over Dewsbury for a very long time. Oh, Christ. Wait. Okay. Another true crime for you. True crimey aficionados. Poll tonight, which is better, Dr. Pepper or Mr. Pibb? I feel like that's kind of a no-brainer, but I haven't had Mr. Pibb in quite some crime. Mr. Pibb with 3 B's. Let's ask the community. Let's get to the bottom of this one. When am I gonna travel and tell stories? What, like shows, like stand-up comedy type shows? Andrea Pia Yates. How do you even say that name? Pia. Andrea Pia Yates was born on July 2nd of 1964 in the small Texan town of Hallsville. She was the youngest son of German-Irish parents Andrew and Jutta? Jutta? What the fuck is that name? Utah. She was the youngest child of German-Irish parents, Andrew and Utah Kennedy, and although they did everything they could for young Andrea, she suffered with mental illness during her teenage years. Despite her struggles, Andrea graduated high school in the summer of '82 as class valedictorian, captain of the swim team, and an officer in the National Honor Society. She later graduated from the University of Texas's Health Science Center, then found a job as a registered nurse at the university's MD Anderson. She later graduated from the University of Texas's Health Science Center, then found a job as a registered nurse at the university's MD Anderson Cancer Center. In the summer of 1989, she met her future husband, Russell, at Houston's Sunscape Apartments. Employed as an aerospace engineer at NASA, Andrea was hugely impressed by Russell's intelligence. They began dating, soon moved in together, and were married on April 17th of 1993. The couple were self-proclaimed devout evangelical Christians and reportedly told friends that they'd have as many babies as nature allowed. Russell's equally impressive salary allowed them to purchase a brand new 4-bedroom house in the Houston suburb of Friendswood, with their first child, Noah, being born in February of 1994. Andrea reportedly adored being a mother, and between 1984 and 1999, she gave birth to 3 more children. In June of 1999, Russell came home to find Andrea shaking while chewing blood from her fingernails. Her depression had returned, and it returned with a vengeance. Russell swore that he'd get her help, but the very next day, Andrea attempted to take her own life via an overdose of prescription medication. She was hospitalized, prescribed antidepressants, and soon showed signs of improvement. But just days after her discharge, Andrea approached her husband while holding a knife to her own throat and begged him to let her die. Once again, Andrea was subjected to intense psychiatric treatment and was subsequently diagnosed with postpartum depression. Yates' first psychiatrist, Dr. Eileen Starbranch, urged Russell and Andrea not to have any more children, as it would guarantee future psychotic depression. Yet less than 2 months later, they'd conceived their 5th and final child, a daughter named Mary, who was born in December of the year 2000. By that point, Andrea's mental health seemed to have improved significantly, and she'd even stopped taking the antipsychotics drugs. Oops. Fuck. By that point, Andrea's mental health seemed to have improved significantly, and she'd even stopped taking the antipsychotic drugs that she'd been prescribed. But then, on March 12th of 2001, her father suddenly passed away. The loss sent Andrea into a spiral of... God, dude. The loss sent Andrea into a spiral of grief and madness. She became obsessed with scripture and read the Bible compulsively while scratching or biting her wrists and arms. Gripped by a feverish insanity, Mary refused to breastfeed her infant daughter, and when she too began refusing to eat, she was once again taken to the hospital. After a month stay in a secure psychiatric facility, Andrea was released into the care of her husband. The cocktail of antipsychotics suppressed her more self-destructive urges, but Russell knew it was only a matter of time before they resurfaced, and resurface they did. On May 3rd of 2001, Andrea suddenly entered a near catatonic state and filled the bathtub in the middle of the day. Russell interrupted her in the act, assuming it was an attempt to drown herself, but he'd soon learned that her plan had been very different. On the morning of June 20th, 2001, Russell Yates kissed his wife goodbye, got into his car, and headed off to work. Andrea had been under the supervision of Dr. Mohammed Saeed and had been subject to an intensive regimen of therapy and medication, a regime that had ended that very morning. Andrea was to be given a lot more freedom and a lot less medication, but only on the condition that she wouldn't be left alone, which, shockingly, is exactly what Russell chose to do. However, it's difficult not to sympathize with him. Andrea had once shown a radical improvement, and his mother was due to arrive within the hour to take his wife's supervision. Fuck. I just called Andrea Mary? Did I? I said Mary? How did I say Mary? I don't remember saying Mary. Did I say Mary? No trolling. What's the theme today? It's mom-related stories. Wait. Did I? Wait, which part did I say Mary? It was a while back when she was in the hospital? How did I do that? What the fuck? How did I say Mary? The loss sent into a spiral. Oh, yeah, it literally says Mary in the fucking paragraph. Oh, Mary was their daughter. They had a daughter named Mary. Gripped by a feverish insanity, Mary refused to breastfeed her infant. Oh, but they actually mixed up the names there, I see. Alright. But the daughter is named Mary, I guess, above that. The writer's fucking tired, Jesus Christ. Gripped by a feverish insanity, Andrea refused to breastfeed her infant daughter, and when she too began refusing to eat, she was once again taken to the hospital. After a month-long stay in a secure psychiatric facility, Andrea was released into the care of her husband. The cocktail of antipsychotics suppressed her more self-destructive urges, but Russell knew it was only a matter of time before they resurfaced, and resurface they did. On May 3rd of 2001, Andrea suddenly entered a near catatonic state and filled the bathtub in the middle of the day. Russell interrupted her in the act, assuming it was an attempt to drown herself, but he'd soon learned that her plan had been very different. On the morning of June 20th, 2001, Russell Yates kissed his wife goodbye, got into his car, and headed off to work. Andrea had been under the supervision of Dr. Mohammed Saeed and had been subject to an intensive regimen of therapy and medication, a regime that had ended that very morning. Andrea was to be given a lot more freedom and a lot more medication. Oh, fuck. A moth is chilling with you? That's sick. Andrea was to be given a lot more freedom and a lot less medication, but only on the condition that she wouldn't be left alone, which, shockingly, is exactly what Russell chose to do. However, it's difficult not to sympathize with him. Andrea had once again shown a radical improvement, and his mother was due to arrive within the hour to take over his wife's supervision. Andrea would only remain alone with her children for 45 to 50 minutes at the most, but that's all the time she needed to destroy everything they had worked so hard to build. After Russell kissed her goodbye, Andrea saw her husband at the door, then waved him out of the driveway. Then, after closing her front door, she once again set about filling up the family's bathtub with water, and once it was full, Andrea lured her second son, John, into the bathroom, ushered him over to the tub, and then shoved his head under the water. She held him there while he struggled, while he wondered why his own mother was subjecting him to something so utterly horrifying. When John finally stopped moving, Andrea dried the boy off, placed him in his bed, and then repeated the process with the rest of her children. It took less than 30 minutes to kill all 5 of her young children, and when she was done, Andrea called her husband and told him he needed to come home. Russell later noted that the family's dog was locked up, something which was highly out of the ordinary. It later emerged that Andrea had done so because she believed the family dog would try and prevent her from murdering her own children. Incredibly, upon her arrest, Russell organized his wife's legal defense and enlisted a family friend to act as their attorney. While in police custody, Andrea made no bones about what she'd done and confessed to the murder of her 5 children. She had deliberately waited until Russell had left for work because she wanted to take her time with it and ensure all 5 were no longer breathing. Although numerous expert witnesses agreed that Yates was psychotic, Texas law requires that the defendant prove that they could not discern right from wrong at the time of the crime. Since Andrea's defense team was unable to do this, the jury rejected her insanity defense and found her guilty on 5 counts of murder in March of 2002. They did, however, spare Andrea the death penalty and instead opted for life imprisonment with eligibility for parole in 40 years. An added twist to the tale came in January of 2005, when the Texas count of An added twist to the tale came in January of 2005, when then Texas count of An added twist of the tale came in January of 2005, when then Texas Court of Appeals suddenly reversed Andrea's conviction. It turned out that one of the prosecution's witnesses, a California psychiatrist by the name of Dr. Park Dietz, had willfully given material It turned out that one of the prosecution's witnesses, a California psychiatrist by the name of Dr. Park Dietz, had willfully given materially false testimony during the trial. In his testimony, Dietz had stated that shortly before the murders, an episode of Law & Order had aired featuring a woman who drowned her children, but was acquitted by reason of insanity. Yet when journalists set about trying to find the episode, Law & Order's writing staff said, "Why would that be important in a fucking court? Why would that be important at all? What the fuck? Why would they be referencing Law & Order in a court case? What the fuck?" Yet when journalists set about trying to find the episode, Law & Order's writing staff said no such episode existed. It wasn't clear why Dietz had given his false testimony, but when confronted, he assured a judge he hadn't willfully deceived the court and seemed only... Wait. It wasn't clear why Dietz had given his false testimony, but when confronted, he assured a judge that he hadn't willfully deceived the court and seemed only too happy to officially retract his testimony, in which case Andrea Yates had just won herself a retrial. Incidentally, Law & Order did indeed go on to air an episode based on Andrea's case, but not until 2 years after her second trial. On January 9th of 2006, Andrea once again entered pleas of not guilty by reason of insanity, and was held at a mental health facility to wait. Park Deets nuts. They got the story from the nonfiction section. Yes, because it's a true crime story, so that technically would be nonfiction. I guess they were implying the expert witness was biased by seeing the show, but I don't understand. Like, in his testimony, Dietz had stated that shortly before the murders, an episode of Law & Order had aired featuring a woman who drowned her children, but it was acquitted by reason of insanity. But, like, why would that even be... Why would a judge hear that and be like, oh, well, if it happened on Law & Order, I guess, maybe it could happen here. Like, why would that even be relevant at all? On January 9th of 2006, Andrea once again entered pleas of not guilty by reason of insanity and was held at a mental health facility to await her trial date. Then in July of that same year, a jury found her not guilty by reason of insanity after 3 whole days of deliberation. Andrea was subsequently committed to the North Texas State Hospital and later to the Kerrville State Hospital, a lower security mental facility. A lower security mental health facility that patients are transferred to once they've shown significant signs of improvement. The news sparked fierce debate across the United States. Was Andrea really responsible for the death of her children, or should those charged with supervising or treating her share a portion of the blame? Russell Yates publicly argued that Andrea's doctor, Mohammed Saeed, was partly at fault for the deaths of his children, claiming he'd refused to medicate or hospitalize his wife in the days prior to the drownings. Russell also added that his wife was visibly too sick to be discharged from her last day in the hospital in May of 2001, and claimed that medical staff lowered their heads as if in shame and embarrassment as he wheeled her off the premises. The hospital countered that they had no choice in the matter, due to the 10-day psychiatric constraints of the Yates healthcare provider, Blue Cross Blue Shield. However, Dr. Saeed fired back at Russell, saying he'd specifically told him not to leave his wife unattended. Russell had been open about the fact that he planned to leave his wife alone for an hour each morning and each evening so that she wouldn't become totally dependent on him and his mother for childcare. This is obviously in direct contravention with Dr. Saeed's advice, and it wasn't the only piece of damning testimony. Dr. Saeed also cited his stance that Russell and Andrea should not have had a 5th child, claiming expert opinion was ignored at every turn. During a broadcast of Larry King Live, Andrea's brother, Brian Kennedy, claimed Russell had once told him that all depressed people needed was a swift quicken. During a broadcast of Larry King Live, Andrea's brother, Brian Kennedy, claimed that Russell had once told him that all depressed people needed was a swift kick in the pants. During a broadcast of Larry King Live, Andrea's brother, Brian Kennedy, claimed Russell had once told him that all depressed people needed was a swift kick in the pants. It also transpired that Russell's mother had advised him not to leave his wife alone, as she'd recently noticed Andrea almost choke her infant daughter by attempting to feed her solid food. This was as clear an indication as any that she wasn't ready to be left alone. Let Russell choose to do it What? This was as clear an indication as any that she wasn't ready to left alone. Let Russell yet, okay. Well, that's the thing. It's like mental health issues, like suddenly the blame gets displaced onto somebody else who doesn't have them but is genuinely just associated with the person. Like that's even crazier than the fucking person, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. This was as clear an indication as any that she wasn't ready to be left alone, yet Russell chose to do it anyway. Investigative journalist Suzanne O'Malley also commented on Russell's clear delusion regarding his wife's ability to handle more children. In her 2005 book, Are You There Alone?, Suzanne wrote, "During the trial, Russell's believed..." Hey, Michaela. During the trial, Russell believed his wife would be found innocent and even had fantasies of having more children with her after she was successfully treated in a mental health facility before being released on the proper medication. While Russell's attitude towards his wife's mental illness certainly didn't help the situation, it would be entirely unjust to blame him for her actions, especially considering she was prescribed a medication that proved extremely controversial in the years that followed. For up to a month before she killed her children, Andrea had been taking twice the recommended dose of an antidepressant known as Effexor. Then, 4 years after her initial conviction, the warning label of the drug was edited to include the side effect homicidal ideation. This revelation featured heavily on Andrea's 2006 retrial and is possibly the single biggest contributing factor in the resulting insanity verdict. Yet perhaps the most viscerally disturbing aspect of Andrea... Say cadence. 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 Cock-dence. Was it irresponsible to leave her alone with him? Yes, but would you ever imagine something like that would happen? He's gone through enough already. Yeah, I mean, I'm just being with her clearly has, like, driven him to insanity, you know what I mean? Like, and clearly, like, I don't know, man. Yeah, you don't, I mean, she hadn't done anything like that before, and yeah, now we're learning that there was clearly some sort of medication that fucked her brain up more with this Effexor shit, so it's just like... it's hard to fucking, know where to place blame, especially since she was the one that, like, took 5 kids and drowned them under the bed, drowned them in the fucking bathtub. It's clearly her fault, but at the same time, it's just like, what the fuck? I don't know. Yet perhaps the most viscerally disturbing aspect of Andrea Yates' case is the pervading influence of her deeply held religious beliefs. While in prison, Yates stated that she had considered killing the children for 2 years. She believed that she was a bad mother, and as a result, her sons were developing improperly. She once told her prison psychiatrist, quote, "It was the 7th deadly sin. My children weren't righteous. They stumbled because I was evil. The way I was raising them, they could never be saved. They were doomed to perish in the fires of hell." Alright, maybe she was nuts for a while. I don't fucking know, man. Jesus Christ. Hi, kitty. I see Pradeep's glowing eyes behind me. I gotta make sure I read all these before I continue, before I... Okay. True crime. Another true crime. One about the ATM. The one about the blood. Monsters. Man, yeah, there was so many fucking stories of just like kids saying creepy shit. I just feel like it's like gonna be the whole fucking video, but that's not the fucking video's about. I don't know. I guess maybe it was hard to find stuff correlated with that, but I feel like I gotta find at least like 1 or 2 more like mom-related stories of like a mom going crazy or something. I don't fucking know. I don't know. Maybe I could find something on the subreddit real quick. It's just hard to fucking search everything up efficiently. I wish I just would have had this figured out beforehand. How do I... Fuck. Sorry, dudes. How do I even search? Can't you search within a... Yeah. Mom. Let's search for mom within Let's Read official. Mom was abducted. My mom works in a haunted hospital. Shit. Well, this one could be good. Almost abducted. Damn, not actually abducted, just almost. Just barely scooped up. My mom works in a midnight scare. What about, like, mother? My mother protected me from a very bad man. Okay. These should suffice. Or mommy. Let's do mommy. My mommy. I guess that would have showed up for mom too. Fuck. Wonder if the... I went to r/mom. I didn't want to go there. r/milfs. All time. Okay, yeah, sorry. Okay. Yeah, let's read these last two here. Stop scratching shit, bro. r/mommy milkers. Mommy issues. Is there a mommy issues one? I wouldn't know. Not at all. This story had happened to my mother a few weeks ago when she was at the store. It still shakes her up to this day whenever she retells it or thinks about it. One day my mom had run down to our local appliance store to look for some extra tools that we needed as we were renovating the kitchen at the time. So my mom heads over to the appliance store to see if she can find what she needed. After getting out of her car and almost at the front entrance, she notices in her peripheral vision that someone was following her close by. She didn't really think much of it at first and thought it was another person in a hurry to get in and out of the store like her. My mom continues walking throughout the store and still can see that there's someone standing not far from where she was. She decided to turn around out of curiosity to see who it was and noticed that it was some scraggly man who looked like he was either in his early mid-50s or so. My mom had gotten a good look at the man and could tell right away that the man didn't belong in the store. He had on worn-out clothes that definitely had seen better days and had this sort of crazed expression on his face. My mom had locked eyes with the creep for a moment or two before deciding to walk away from him quickly. As she was walking away, she could hear him approaching her direction slowly. At this point, my mom knew that she was being followed and had to do something about it. She proceeded to walk away at a normal pace as not to alert the guy in any way. She walked a few aisles over to see if the guy would follow her, or if some major... Hey, Ash M with the 2. Thank you, Ash M. Appreciate you. What's happening? What's kind of weird is like whenever I pick up Pradeep, my like headphones get like a weird static electricity through them, and I'm almost like worried it's gonna like fuck my ears up or like mess up my headphones. Have you guys ever had this happen to you? She walked a few aisles over to see if the guy would follow her, or if it was just some major coincidence, but as it turned out, it was no coincidence. My mom did this a few more times, and whenever My mom did this a few more times in whatever area of the store My mom did this a few more times in whatever area of the store she went to. This guy followed her. She eventually went to find an employee to tell them about her situation. The man sees that she was talking to an employee and just quickly walked away. The employee resumed... Fuck, man. The employee reassured my mom that they would have someone talk to him and she need not to worry. My mom felt relieved after this, knowing that the employee would alert other employees of this creep in the store. For the rest of the time that she was there, my mom didn't see the guy anywhere in the store. After she finished buying the supplies that she needed, she left the store and headed straight to her car. My mom wasn't even out of the store for more than 10 seconds, and she immediately had a bad feeling. She looks to her right, and lo and behold, it's the same creep from before. My mom knew that she had to get away from this man, and fast, so she started to speed walk towards her car. The man then started to follow her close by. My mom had at least another 200 yards to go until she was at the car. She also had a frightening realization on her way to her car. Whenever my mom had sped up, he would speed up too. Whenever she slowed down or stopped, he would slow down or stop as well. This guy was trying his best to match my mom's footsteps so she couldn't hear him sneaking up on her. It was at this time that my mom began to pray that this guy would lose interest or that she can escape from him somehow. My mom could see that she was less than 50 yards away from her car and began contemplating whether to sprint to her car or start screaming for help. My mom was almost to her car and could literally feel the guy breathing down her neck. What happened next was that my mom could only describe. What happened next was my mom... What happened next was what my mom could only describe as divine intervention. As my mom was preparing to fend for herself if the man tried to grab her, a truck had pulled up in the parking lot and headed towards them. My mom, without hesitation, waved her hands to get the driver's attention, and this had completely caught the man following her off guard. The driver of the truck had slowed down and my mom began walking towards him. My mom turned around for a split second and saw this guy just quickly walking away in the opposite direction. The driver lowered his window and asked if she was all right, and he also told my mom as he was driving towards her that he saw that sketchy-looking man almost stalking her from about 10 feet away. He also explained how my mom was smart and that she did the right thing for waving him down. The guy also told my mom how lucky she was that he was there. He explained how there was a woman who had been abducted over a month ago in the area, and she had yet to be found. Fuck. A shot of Tren. Oh my god. I don't get those people that really... I don't know. Just... I guess I understand why people do steroids, because they want to, like, skip, you know, things or whatever. You know, they want to just cheat. But it's just not worth it, you know? It's not worth it if you have, like, negative side effects that fuck up your whole endocrine system or make your heart big and explode. He explained how there was a woman who had been abducted over a month ago in that area, and she had yet to be found. My mom thanked him and had him watch her get into her car and leave safely. This may not seem much of a scary story to others, but I'd like to see how these people would feel or react if they were in my mother's shoes. My mom has since then told me that she's never shopping there again unless my dad is with her. The moral of the story is always pay attention to your surroundings because you never know who's around you, and it may one day just save your life. gonna take cough meds and lay down in case I fell asleep. Good night, all wonderful. Hey, see ya, Batsy. Take care. My heart's already about 10% larger than average. Yeah, best not to mess it up with steroids. Even though I heard about this thing called peptides, I was curious about that. Anybody know anything about peptides? It's like something similar to steroids, but it's supposed to it's supposed to be like a precursor thing to like make your body generate natural production of testosterone and things like that. My mother used to work for the sheriff's department, but quit after I was born. She dealt with quite a few upsetting cases and spoke to plenty of sickos as part of her job. When I was maybe 3 years old, she put that experience from her old job to good use. The following story took place in Northern California in the early 1980s, and I'm a female. An elderly couple lived across from us. The lady seemed nice, though from what my mom told me, she was rather impatient when I soiled myself, asking her when I'd be trained. I'd occasionally talk to her from my side of the street, and she had a funny, thick drawl. She had a lot of cats which congregated on the driveway and lawn of her house, and weirdly enough, lots of birds and aviary cages. Apparently, she also raised... what is this? Coturnix quail? What the frick is that? You got disconnected? Ruh-roh. Seems the stream's doing alright. I don't know. Coturnix. Coturnix. Apparently, she also raised Coturnix quail, and when she cleaned their cages, her lot would stink. Her husband, from what my mom told me, didn't talk nice to me. She couldn't really describe it, but yeah, he didn't really seem to... She couldn't really describe it, but yeah, he didn't seem to really like a good person. Fuck, man. She couldn't really describe it, but yeah, he didn't seem to really act like a good person. The thing is, I was 3 and hadn't even finished becoming bathroom independent, so I did not sense any danger. I thought he was just another nice man that my mom knew. I had plenty of other neighbors, including a single mother of boys who I later learned was single because her husband came out as gay and left her, a single woman I knew as my auntie, an old woman who had a playful, friendly black lab, and another old woman who had a garden full of beautiful flowers in her backyard. When I went to some of their houses, I was allowed to wander about a little, but at the house of that old couple with all the birds and cats, whenever I went to wander around, my mother would tell me to come back. I wanted to go and look at the beautiful birds, but I knew that I was risking a spanking or demerit. I wanted to go look at the beautiful birds, but I knew that I was risking a spanking or demerit and loss of popsicle privileges, so I obeyed. My mother said that she did let me stay at that house while the man was away, but she never let me alone anywhere near him. I think you know where this is going already. Now, I still have this memory of the old man sort of inviting me to go back with him, and he said to my mom that it was all right, that I could come back there. I have vague memories of his face, but after knowing what he did, the memories of my interactions with him are just incredibly creepy. There was a girl I played with a few times. Her mother was obese and toothless, and her aunt would have nothing to do with that man. One day, the girl's mother let her stay with that man, and I think you know what he did to her. Same thing he did to her with her mother and aunt. She told his wife divorced him, and sadly, he went to live with the girl's mother. When I asked my mom about him while we were driving through that old neighborhood a few years after we moved, she told me that he had died, and that he was a very bad person. Back then, I was innocent and didn't quite know why some adults would want to give a child a bad touch, as I remember it being called, and I was shocked. Over the years, I would sometimes bring him up in conversation, and sometimes I would get more information. I was saddened to learn that he was allowed to live with his young victim and that she never got a happy ending. The thing is, my mom didn't know back then that he was a monster. Something about him just seemed off, and she felt that she couldn't trust him around me. But boy, was she right. I am forever thankful that my mother was so attentive. Your choices are child abuse, a note saying don't do this, or no popsicles. Jesus Christ. Well, fuck. I should probably look for more. Don't you think? Get another story or two. I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like all the ones with like the child fucking like where they said creepy things are just like not creepy. You know what I mean? It's like not entertaining or like not what people are used to. Thomas Fries with the 5. Thank you, Thomas. Let's see. Oh fuck. Wait, what? That's weird. What the fuck? Why is it doing that? When I type mom into like my search on here, it's like bringing up the word my. I don't know why it's bringing up my. What if I did mother? What's my mother's experience? Story. My mother. Some Irish and a group of government forces. The conflict became known as the Troubles. Fuck. I mean, it's just, I don't know. This is why I have somebody else do this, because it's just so fucking hard to find and gather shit from my email, because so much of it is just like a gobbledygook of just like troves and troves of emails and stories and fucking hell. Fuck, I don't know. Maybe I can practice. Is there, okay, fuck it. Well, let's read the outro, and then we still got some time here. Maybe we can try that reaction screen and see how it goes. How do you honor the memory of Mr. Springer, you ask? Well, your best friend is convinced you have a thing for... what are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. Depressed Turtle, welcome back for 4 months. Says, oh dang, I just got here and it's over. We're gonna do some reaction content because we got the screen made, but you guys got to tell me what to watch. We'll just go with those 2 stories for mom stuff, and I mean there was enough audio there that hopefully people fall asleep by the time we get to the creepy kid shit. But at this time, I need you guys to think of something funny to say at the end. But we're not going to stop, so don't leave yet. I do want to try this. I just need you guys to think of what would be funny shit to watch. Like meme compilations? What if I don't laugh? What if I think it's stupid? And then you guys are like, this is lame. All right. Think of something funny to say at the end. Yeah. Hey friends, thanks for listening. Click that notification bell to be alert. Oh, I got something to say at the end. That'd be kind of funny. Hey friends, thanks for listening. Click that notification bell to be alerted of all future narrations. I release new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. EST. And there are super fun live streams every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday night. I'd love to see you there. If you got a story, be sure to submit them to my subreddit, r/Let'sReadOfficial, and you might even hear your story featured on the next video. And if you want to support me even more, grab early access to all future narrations and bonus content over on Patreon, or click that big join button to hear about the extra perks offered for the channel. And check out the Let's Read podcast, where you can hear all of these stories in big compilations and save huge on data, located anywhere you listen to podcasts. All links in the description below. Thanks so much, friends. And remember to kiss your mom for me. Watch stupid TikToks? Okay. Do they have those on YouTube? Because that's kind of like the format we'll have to watch it in. You got your girlfriend into my vids now? Thank you. Appreciate that. Word of mouth is the way to go, baby. All right. So, like I said, we're not done yet. We are gonna... I'm not even sure. What do we watch? Stupid TikToks that if you laugh, you go to hell or something? Let's see. Alright, looks like Dr. Pepper won. It's the OG. I don't even know what Mr. Pibb even tastes like. The best things happen in the dark. Alright. Okay. What are we watching? Anybody got any ideas? Who plays Pokemon Go? You should watch the presidents do, most videos are Minecraft related for being... Oh, yeah, I've seen a lot of those. We just do TikTok... I don't fucking know. We can just comment on modern society. It'll be like the most boring shit of all time, but... Alright, yeah, let's just do that. Let's see if we can figure this out. Shit, I forgot. I just realized. Well, actually, I can look over at your stuff over there, so that's fine. I was thinking if I make this full screen. Alright. Check this out. Bong chakalong dong. Doesn't that look sick? Can you guys still hear me? La Llorona. Dare you not to laugh videos. Full cream. Can you still hear me? Sweet. Alright. Well, let me edit this one thing so it's... Oh, there we go. Wait. Alright. Shit. My standby thing froze for some reason. Maybe we can get it back. Yup. We Gucci. Alright, let's see if this... Boom. Check that out. You guys ready for this? You guys ready for some fucking memes, baby? Yeah, accidentally put on porn. Whoops. That's not supposed to be there. Hopefully none of it's too bad. I don't know. You assume if it exists on YouTube, then it'll be fine if it exists on my YouTube. Hearing the music and the voice and no music. Does it sound bad or good? Who's in the left corner? I don't know. Robin made that, so it's all of his memes. It's probably Corpse Husband. All right. Oh, ate some shit there. All right. Oh God, yeah. Is this too loud? How's the?
My friend thinks you're cute, right there.
He's about to kiss her feet.
22.
22, no, yo lo mato, yo lo mato.
Tommy, it looks like you need a tutor, sweetie. You're about dumb as fuck.
6 plus 9, Victor?
69.
69, orderly, smart like your father. Who's Tommy? What the fuck? 5 plus 5 is...
Had to fix your resolution, but this is so cool. Not funny at all. Yeah, that's what I'm like thinking. I'm like, oh fuck, man. I don't even know, bro. I'd almost rather like watch something with you guys and like TikTok sucks. Yeah, isn't there like some good? What the fuck can we watch? Like fucking Hell's Kitchen or some shit. I don't even fucking know. Let's skip this guy. POV
really
friends
nice
can
day,
never.
you know?
Yeah. Bro, that boat looks like your dad.
Really? Wait, there's no boat.
Yeah, these suck. Damn. What do we watch? Pokemon? Let's watch. Oh, dude, that's a great. Oh my god, great fucking point. Let's watch fucking. Let's watch like scary shit together. I just realized that's way better than funny shit. Oh, fucking great idea. Let me get rid of this dog shit. Fuck TikTok. Thank you very much. And let's watch, what's that guy? Sir Spooks. Let's watch Sir Spooks. Hopefully he doesn't get mad, but whatever. What do you think? Top 5 scary videos to never watch a Home Alone. Well, thankfully, we got each other. So let's watch this shit. Spooky shit, dude. I've been wanting to watch this like shit forever, but I'm always afraid to watch it without people. So this is fucking baller. Oh yeah, bitches, let's go. Also, let me know if I'm like too loud or like I don't want to blow out your ears, or if the shit's too like the spooky video's too loud and stuff. All right, let's go. Sir Spooks! Ah!
Hello everyone.
Also, go
My name is
subscribe to
Sir
him.
Spooks, and today we'll take a look at 5 scary videos. But before we begin, make sure
Be sure to
subscribe
send
our
me
channel so you don't miss any
piles of
future
poop in a
uploads.
bag with
Alright,
sprinkles in
let's
it.
begin.
Okay, got it. Holy shit, dude, this is gonna be
The
good.
following piece of footage may be one of the oldest scary videos that you can find on YouTube, published to the platform by a user named Momaru0062 on July 17,
Big Daddy
2007.
chillin', 69.
In the video, which was filmed in the Malaysian state of Sabah, we watch blurry footage of a group of guys hanging out in the middle of the night. Nothing out of the ordinary whatsoever. However, in just a moment, we are about to see the true nature of this bone-chilling video. Let's take a look.
Oh,
Zamane, masanay pupol, 4, 5 minit. During lahat man.
Wait, I think I've seen this shit. Doesn't he get like dragged away or some shit? Or no?
During nga.
Oh, shit.
Tidur pulang si boy ni. During nga.
Oh, fuck! Why do they have to do this? Sorry. I hope I didn't peek the mic there.
Masuk siya, no. Masuk no. Masuk dulu. Asta mo
What the fuck is that shit there?
Bismillah mo na Hims, subhanallah. Masuk dulu, masuk. Mari kamu dulu. Asta bukan cali ni, bukan cali.
Oh my god.
Bukan cali ni.
What the fuck is it? How do they not notice it? Okay, now they did. I was like, what the fuck? They're just like acting this woman in like a drape. She's wearing a drape.
Out of nowhere, the boy starts to freak out upon
Out of
noticing that there is
nowhere
something weird
is Ya
hanging around them.
Yorona.
They believe it is a Pontianak, a mythological creature or ghost in Indonesia.
It's
Malaysia,
literally a
and
guy in a
Singapore.
sheet.
But strangely,
It's
even
like the
though ghost
definition of
seems
like
to
a
walk around in the
ghost
background
Halloween
for the
costume.
entirety of the video, the boys only notice the alleged Pontianak about a minute into the video.
Can I turn the volume up?
Also sometimes referred
Yes.
to as kuntilanak, usually takes the form of a pregnant woman
Sorry.
who is unable
that
to
loud
give
enough?
birth to a child and is described as a long-haired
Here's an entire
woman
fucking
dressed
Wikipedia
in white.
page.
What do you think? Was this simply a hoax? Or did these boys actually manage to capture authentic footage of
It's
the
just so
Pontianak?
funny. It's like worse than
Or was
fucking
this
Bigfoot
something else
grain.
entirely? Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below.
Down below, be sure to send money to my PayPal. Please stop
A man
sending
on
dick
TikTok
pics to
named
my
Danny
email.
Moss, who's a TV presenter and paranormal investigator,
Oh,
runs
shit.
an account known simply as The Paranormal Investigator, where he uploads clips of his various findings from ghost hunting. He definitely has plenty of creepy videos that are sure to make you want to sleep with the lights turned on, but there's one video in particular that certainly rises above the rest. The video starts off relatively normal as we watch a wall in a normal looking room, but in just a matter of seconds, this video is about to
Reverse
send
ghost face.
shivers straight up your spine.
Straight up your
Take a look.
asshole. Take a
Guys,
feel.
watch this here.
Fellas, check this out. I caught a fucking ghost on my cams. Oh,
my
shit.
God.
Oh my god, that actually is creepy as shit. Can you guys see this? Oh, yeah.
Out of nowhere, a mysterious ghostly apparition seems to move across the wall, much to the shock and awe of Danny, who definitely seems more mesmerized than scared.
Jesus.
Someone in the background even chimes in admiration for this piece of footage. This
You're
is
so high.
definitely a short clip, but it's also
Being high
one
is
that is
not
guaranteed
a smart thing
blow
to do
you
when
away.
there's ghosts
That
afoot.
is, if you believe it to be real.
We need
Do
you
you think this footage is authentic?
at 100%.
Or are you more of a skeptic in this case? Be sure to let me know your thoughts and theories.
Wait. I think I saw the guy's wiener. In reflection. Have you seen the leak Zelda Tears of the
Matthew
Kingdom?
Ball
I did see here there was a
posted the
leak, but I
following
don't
piece
want to
of
like
footage to his
see any
YouTube account
leak stuff.
on
I just want
March
to play
4th, 2007,
it. Or I'll leak
and
my
was
pants.
taken on a train that was going from Adelaide to Jacobs Creek in the middle of a nice sunny day. From what I could find on the internet, the location of this video seems to be somewhere
I just
in
really
South
like
Australia.
B-roll of trains.
In the video, we can see the outdoor scenery looking green and beautiful, but in just a second,
I don't
we're
think I've
about
ever
to be
actually been on a
subjected to
train
another
before.
side,
Or
and
like a
it's
subway.
anything but beautiful.
Or no.
Let's look.
I'd like to get on a train at some point. Oh shit, what are we about to see? Oh shit. Wait, what was it? I missed it. Oh wait, was that the thing we're walking across? Holy fuck.
Did you see it?
I did.
If you look carefully, you can make
If you
out
look
what
at the
appears to
giant
be a
fucking red
strange,
arrow
ghostly
right there.
apparition walking across the train tracks before the video abruptly ends. Sadly, the video
Took a
itself
train through
doesn't
Amish
have much
country in
context
PA.
provided
That sounds
to it,
nice.
so we don't know certain details that would surely help to figure out whether or not this is real or fake. However, thanks to the comment section, some people have provided some more information. Quote, the area of the Barossa
30, never
train
been on a
line
train.
near
Yeah, I
Roman
just never
Flat
had a reason to
is
be on, I
notoriously
guess.
haunted due to a train derailment in the late 1800s.
Charisse, Nicole,
There have been
welcome.
many stories of
to the
ghostly
Butterscotch
people
Cult. You now have
crossing the
access
tracks and causing
to bonus
further
content.
derailments. This could very well be one of the ghosts that haunts the train line. End
In
quote.
Palestine,
Another
Ohio.
commenter said, quote, I love
Is this British, Joel?
My ancestors,
It certainly could be British.
great-grandparents
It sounds
times
very
5,
British.
lived in this exact area over 150 years ago and are buried at the Roland Flat
Watching
Cemetery.
Spookies with Joel.
My husband and I went looking for their old house in Steingarten Road, Roland Flat, in 2009, and we found the house of the brothers my relatives married all that time ago.
Oh, governor,
The person
I'm
who was
crossing the
living in
tracks
this house
here.
said the Schwarzkopf house on the
Don't
other
hit
side
me.
of the dirt road was haunted and
Got a
told us not
license
to
for that
go
train?
in there. This is real. End quote.
Holy shit.
With that eerie backstory, it's no surprise
what the fuck
many
are
people
ghosts?
believe this area to be haunted.
Like, what the fuck are ghosts? What are they doing? What are they up to? Joe Biden should put them in jail for being so creepy.
And it makes the ghost sighting seen in this video
It does look
all
kind of
the
like
more
it's like
believable.
overlaid pretty easy.
So,
I mean,
is it
I could
real
imagine.
or fake? Either
I don't
way,
know. Well,
it's
especially since it looks like it's
undeniably
it's
creepy.
like literally just overlaid. It's not even like well, okay. So someone's saying it's real or
Told
whatever,
us
but
not to
like
go in there.
wait,
And it makes the ghost sighting scene. Either way,
like I guess it's from the perspective of the camera because sometimes I wonder if like ghosts almost like only care about the camera seeing them, so they almost like create the presentation of what they are. But the fact that like it's not like this person's body is like forming to the fucking tracks or anything. It's like specifically almost like it's overlaid specific to the layering of the camera, and it's just like a sort of apparition-y ghost type person. Man, we need who's that guy that like solves if videos are real or not? Dr. Disillusion. We need him on the fucking case. It does look like shitty editing, to be honest.
It's
I mean, just like
undeniably creepy.
because it all kind of like the movement of the train almost like eventually lines up to where it makes sense with her crossing the tracks, which I guess would be kind of a nice like directorial type touch, you know what I mean? But at the same, like from the ghost side to make it more poetic or whatever. But whatever, who gives a shit?
The following piece of footage was posted to Reddit by a user who says the recording commenced in Hungary, Sobanka, on June 29th, 2020. As of the recording of this video, the post has over 13,000 likes, which is mind-blowing
Who
in
you gonna
itself.
call?
The video is sure to leave you
911.
breathless. The footage in question shows the gorgeous nature of Hungary, but by looking in the sky, you should be able to make out something rather bizarre, which seems totally out of place with
Do
the
this at
rest
the end of the live, so yeah, I'm
scenery
down with that.
that will make you
You
scratch
can
your
watch some
head.
footage and shit.
Have a look.
I just don't want to upset anybody while watching their videos, but I guess, you know, we're a reaction channel now, right, guys? This is pretty much Blasphemous HD Part 3. Oh, fuck, what was that? I wasn't paying attention. Oh! No fucking way. You oppose? That almost like it like moves so weird that it almost looks fake, but then real at the same time. Dude, UFOs for some reason creep the fuck out of me just as much as ghosts do.
If you look at the
It's
footage
Hawk,
when
yeah,
it is
it's Hawk
slowed
flying
down,
through.
you should be able to make out what appears to be some sort of strange, cylindrical-shaped UFO.
Is this from
Usually,
the History Channel?
UFOs
No,
are
this
shaped
is
like discs, but this
Sir
one
Spooks.
is drastically different.
or I guess the footage
The
itself, I'm
following
not sure.
submission statement explains a few important key points. Quote, the
Quote.
object is seen going behind clouds, low visibility. The object simmers a metallic surface, seamless, no signs of propulsion.
I don't know, I've heard recently about like as the Department of Defense or whatever starts to like declassify more UFO crap, there's like a ton of shit. Like the one I heard that there was like over 100 cases or something of like air, you know, people within the military who worked in the Air Force or whatever who had incidences with these UFOs and gotten injured and then sued the government. Their families have sued the government. There's like ongoing litigation related to these cases where UFOs have interacted with people within the military, gotten hurt, and then now they're figuring that out. But that's kind of strange. And like hearing about these like different objects that can go like basically like have multiple mediums that they can operate in, both in like space, air, and then into the ocean and stuff, and just I don't know, it's fucking wild. Oh, dude, we should watch well, I wonder if I gotta check into this, whether I mean, this is fine, right? Reaction videos. I mean, this is transformative content, my friends. Yeah. But I'm also encouraging you guys to all go subscribe to them because it's a good time. But what's his name? Secure Team 10. Remember that guy? He still makes videos, doesn't he?
The object is seen making multiple sharp turns at very high speed. Instant acceleration or anti-gravity technology.
Your Honor, it was fair use.
The original uploader stated it made no sonic boom when it should be
Your
at
Honor,
the speed it is
I
going.
said no homo. It's
The
fine.
object is roughly calculated to be going around 1,800 kilometers an hour. End quote. It's no wonder so many people
Is
are
he? I
baffled
thought he
by
disappeared.
this
I don't
piece of
know. I
footage.
haven't checked it out in
One
forever.
commenter said, quote,
Tyler's still
this
around?
video
Okay,
is
cool.
excellent. The object is large enough that the camera can track it into the clouds, and it has an interesting flight path. The sunlight reflecting on the object appears natural. Plus, the dull gray metallic color is consistent with other descriptions of UAP. compelling.
Videos of cops interrogating murderers. A lot of streamers do that. Oh, okay.
Of course, it is entirely possible that this is
Yeah,
not a
we could do all
UFO,
sorts of random
and this
shit.
is someone's clever
He did a
editing
vid this week.
tricks at
Okay,
play
cool,
here.
cool.
But it is also entirely possible that this videographer
Just the way
was
it kind
able
of.
to record
That's the weirdest part, is the way like it almost like is on like a weird track. Like it just, you would imagine like some sort of alien object would operate in a more like curvature format, but the fact that it was like I don't know, makes me wonder if it's like 3D animation that way.
authentic proof of aliens existing.
Are the reactions going to be in the final
it's
edit?
a
No,
fascinating
this is
piece of
just in the
footage.
stream.
What do you think? Let me know in
Secure
the
Team
comments
10
below.
like Ghost. I think someone said he's still making stuff. Number 1. Big piss blanket.
This
Found
final video
in my
was posted
daddy's
to
closet.
YouTube on June 2nd, 2010 by a man named Andres Gonzalez. In the video, Andres writes, quote, "Sometimes
Would
I've
it be a
heard
falling
noises
satellite?
at home,
Yeah, like,
but I don't really care about it. But once, when I started to
Cloverfield.
practice with my piano, strange things happened." End quote. He then goes on to insist that the footage is 100% real.
Oh shit.
Let's take a look at the video.
He's
in
reassured us it should be fine. Oh wait, what the fuck? We haven't seen much ghost stuff tonight other than like... Woo! They're like, turn that fucking music down! Andreas? Oh shit. Wait! Is that a thing right there? Is that a guy? Fuck, sorry. Oh, he threw it on the sofa? I can't tell what the fuck I'm looking at, bro. I need glasses. Rocket shoot up in the sky and it stops and makes a water drop noise when they leave Earth. No, I've never seen that. This guy's freaked out. Why is his house red? Why does he like specifically make it like a fucking haunted house? Let me light this shit like Insidious. Oh fuck! Don't go in there. What? What happened? What's he crying about? Oh, they knocked over his fucking bongo, dude. What? Oh. What? Woo! What is that? Oh, it's a TV? Dude, this is the... Ah! What is going on? Jesus Christ. Why is he filming this, dude? Oh my fucking god! What is happening? This reminds me of like one of those ARGs. Did you ever watch this like fucking... Oh fuck!
While playing around on his
Oh, I guess he was fucking around
he
with the
hears a
keyboard. That's why his
strange
camera
noise
was
that
on.
startles him immediately. What follows is scary noises.
Look, I thought that
inside
was a
the
dude on
house,
the right.
as well as stuff being moved around.
This background
Even
music's kind
weirder,
of sick.
the television inside of his house turns on and off with lots of static before eventually a door slams shut seemingly
The shadow
all on
peeps.
its own. All of this happening in the span of just a few minutes.
He
If this
assured
video
us
is
it's
indeed
real. Okay, good,
Then
good.
it's clear that Andres was, or perhaps still is, living inside of
I mean, even if it
extremely
wasn't real,
haunted
that's a lot of
house
effort,
that he has hopefully moved
like, to
out
have-
of since. This
Because I feel
video
like
is
he
13
looped
years
around to
old,
this
so
room,
let's
or maybe it
hope
was a
that in
separate
that
room.
time, he has been able to live
But like to get the
peacefully.
lights going and the TV and shit and all the sound and
And
shit,
that was
like
5 scary videos.
kind of an impressive
I
thing
hope
to
you
do with your
enjoyed the
friends.
video, and if you did, then subscribe for more scary content.
Alright, you
My
heard
name
him.
is Sir Spooks,
Hit
and
that
I'll see you
motherfucking
all
bell.
in the next video.
Should have worn the brown pants. It's kind of a nice song. Should we watch more of his scary videos? Or should we watch, after watching Supernatural 3 times from start to end, nothing scares me anymore. Is that a scary show? Logic would dictate if you actually saw a ghost, you would simply leave. His fake reaction betrays him. All right. I feel like I need like some sort of music in the background for the dun 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 dun. More. All right, yeah. Should we check out what's his name? Well, actually, I like the ghost shit. The ghost content's like kind of fucking. Oh, this is a big one. Top 13 scary videos you should not watch at night. Oh my god, we should watch Chill's videos. That'd be so funny. No, we can't watch Chill's video. Actually, let's watch a Chill's video, dude. Let's fucking watch Chill's. That was fucking so good. 30 scary videos no one can rationally explain. 15 scary videos to make. Oh my god. All right. Here we go.
Number 15, jump scare. This one made me do a double take. Redditor 171180333 shares this video in which a young woman has a jump scare, and when you look closer, it gets even scarier. Look closely.
Ooga booga. Spooky dookie. What happened?
It's hard to see what made her jump, but clearly she felt something touch her. Here's a closer look.
You can see Uncle Thaddeus. Oh, there's a hand. Oh my god, a little ghost hand. My strong hand.
It seriously looks like there's a tiny hand on her shoulder. Many in the comments think the hand is edited in or that it's a prank video.
Tiny hand. Pulling a little ghosty prank on her.
Others think the video is too grainy to know either way.
It's hard to fucking say. It'd be funny if like
According
Chills
to
is
the
like,
Redditor,
I've done so many of these. Most of them are bullshit.
Jimena herself said she felt something touch her.
The OP writes, she said that if she thought her boyfriend was teasing her, so she asked for the video of her friend to realize that she could identify a couple of hands touching her shoulders.
I'm with those who think the footage is too grainy when zoomed in to tell whether it's a hand or just her earrings. Number 14, creeping in the shadows. Redditor, failed talk show host, has been hearing noises in the kitchen for years, and now they've captured this.
Das. Ooh! What was it? I can't see anything. I don't want to see anything. Oh! It's some sort of artifact.
In the comments, a Redditor by the name of WXMike94
Wiggles
has
Wigglesworth.
enhanced the footage.
What's it say? Reddit writes, that contrast is helpful in the worst way. Damn, I'm scared now. I can't really see.
Some in the comments think it's an intruder, others a ghost, but the Redditor isn't taking any
He
chances.
thinks it's Pickle Rick. His voice or Penguin's better? Who, Penguin Zero? Oh. Yeah, you're not gonna believe what you see next. This shit's gonna make you shit fucking Tweety
It's
Bird
not worth
poop.
it at all. Number 13, security officer versus ghost. Security is supposed to guard
What the
against
fuck?
threats, but what happens if that threat is from
It's
another
getting thrown
realm?
around like
Shared by
fucking-
YouTube channel The Bottom Line, this video of a
What the
paranormal
fuck?
encounter is currently trending in
Just
the
the way like it instantly was like played him getting thrown. I was like, so I just watched this guy get tossed.
by YouTube channel The Bottom it at all. Number 13, security officer versus ghost.
Versus
Security
ghost.
is supposed
Whoa,
to guard
whoa.
against threats, but what
Fucking
happens
banana
if that
peel.
threat is from another realm? Shared by YouTube channel The Bottom Line, this video of a paranormal encounter is currently
Dude,
trending.
ghosts are fucking scary when it, well, obviously, but like, imagine getting manhandled by a ghost. I feel like I've seen so many videos where ghosts just like grab you and just yank the shit out of you, just like fucking toss you like a rag doll. And I'm like, Maybe they worked out when they were alive.
In the Hindi-speaking YouTube community, its original source is the
Oh my
YouTube
God,
channel
he's just getting
for
tossed around.
Revista Semana. Mayor Juan Manuel Rios reports that a security guard from the mayor's office was ambushed by a ghost, and the fallout was captured on security camera.
He said it was 5 nights at Frebby's. According to reports, Mayor Rios said, "In the company of the bishop and other religious leaders, we will bring God's blessing to every corner of this pizzeria."
Let's take a look at the footage and judge for ourselves.
John Wick clips. Oof. I think somebody tied his shoes together. Oh my God, are we watching? Dude, how?
As you can see,
I swear to God, Chills like pads these fucking videos out to be like 9 years long, dude. Like this, like we got the gist of this in like less than 30 seconds, and now he's gonna hyper analyze. What else do we gotta say about this?
So I have 2 questions. What of the paranormal force and what of the bright light? Well, I tend to agree
What
that
of
the light
it?
is likely from his flashlight. I don't find the man's movements to be that of someone in an intoxicated state or having a
Right.
fit. It appears to
He's
me
having
he
a
was
bit of a
slung
temper
forward and
tantrum.
into the wall by a strong
Let's get to the jizz of it. All right, we're skipping Chills. I'm sorry, brother.
Number 12, statue moving. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Paranormal
shit.
Nomad. This Redditor wrote, "Was it moving? During my live stream, this statue in the cemetery
We gotta
caught
send
me
some
off
stuff into
guard,
Chills.
and when I got a good look at it,
we don't get on the
I
Chills
noticed
channel,
it looked like its
we're not
arm was
living.
moving ever so slightly on the left. Can you see it?
Can
or am
you
I
see
just
it?
tripping? Let's
Or am I just tripping?
was moving ever so slightly
I
on
did
the
take
left.
16
Can you see
dabs
it?
of
Or am I just
LSD.
tripping? Let's watch
Jesus
their submission
Christ.
and see what they're talking about.
Okay, are my eyes playing tricks on me?
Was that something spooky over there? What do you
Sworn I
guys
saw
think?
the arm go up.
What the hell?
Whoa, wait, no way.
No freaking way. Oh, fuck. Wait a
Wait,
second.
wait.
It does look like it's kind of moving.
The arm.
Or am I just chicken nuggies for Din Din from Mommy?
What do you think? Did you see this statue move? Let me know in the comments. Number 11,
Commentes.
Priory House. YouTube team Ouija Brothers
fuck,
is
this should be good.
investigating the Norton
The
Priory
Luigi Brothers.
Museum in England, which is a former 12th century Augustinian abbey.
It also a place in which shadow figures have been seen, screams have been heard, and visitors have been molested.
Would you dare enter? The guys soon hear a strange sound.
Don't blank.
It was a weird noise. What was it?
Woo! Sorry.
It was a weird noise. What was it?
That doesn't sound human to me. It could just be old home noises. When the team makes a request for more noise, the spirits deliver.
The spirits never miss.
So that was a loud noise over there, wasn't it?
Cupboard. That was a
It really
ghost for
was.
sure
There was a
right
cupboard
there.
down there.
They ask again for a loud noise.
Cupboard,
and
hello,
again, they
I am
get
a ghost.
Response.
What?
That sounds like a man saying, "Oh, is it the spirits of Norton Priory?" I think this last communication could be a monastic chant, but instead of putting me at peace, it makes me feel
monastic
unnerved.
chant.
Number 10.
I feel bad. Like it's like I want to be spooked out, and it is like creepy. But there's something about like these videos that are just like inherently, that just like it sounds like a monastic chant.
Code Ghost. Does anyone here know?
Like you could be like at an exorcist, and like Chills is the fucking like, you know, like the priest that they sent, and he's like, "I command you out of in the name of Jesus Christ to get out of her." And like the demon would like laugh. It's like, all right, bro, I'm gone.
Morse
Dude.
code. Redditor Sober Sweet Potato shares this video captured on security camera
Bizarre Bub.
at
What's
around
Bizarre
1
Bub?
a.m. at their boss's office.
You want to watch a different one? Everyone, stand by. We need like probably a background music of sorts. Let's see. Elevator music. Okay. What's it called? Bizarre Bub. Okay. Scary comp.
The per.
I kind of like this music now too much to keep going.
The person who recorded this is known as Creed, and it just so happens that while
Creed.
taking a walk through a trail that not many people know of, something pretty disturbing was caught on camera.
Scared to react to Knox.
It was
I like
sometime in the
chaos theory.
afternoon when this incident took
What's
place.
Knox? Never heard of it.
Creed had just started hiking only an hour ago, but for some unknown reason that still haunts him to this day, the woods all of a sudden went quiet.
Damn, everybody just
Creed
sounds like
immediately
chills.
sensed that something wasn't right. He sees a bunny crossing the trail right in front of him when it suddenly stops dead in its
bunny?
tracks. Feeling baffled and a bit scared, he takes out his phone and captures this.
Intense phone pictures. What does he see? Bigfoot? Foreskin walker? I keep expecting something to jump its ass out at me. I don't know why. Oh! Oh, was that the bunny? Why was he recording a bunny?
He was right there.
Wait, what? That was weird. Slender IRL, yeah, pretty much. Slender dude. He's saying nope.
As Creed walks away, a disembodied voice can be heard coming out of nowhere. And if you listen closely, you can make out what sounds like someone saying "help me" in a muffled voice.
Person was... Holy shit, dude.
Perhaps this might have been the reason why the bunny froze in
It was
its
probably
tracks.
the bunny.
It was sensing danger nearby. Although it could
Watch
be that it
videos by
saw
Blame It on
Creed and
George.
froze
Oh
out of
yeah, I
fear,
love George.
the eerie voice that's heard on camera has made viewers think otherwise. No one else is seen when the voice is heard. To this day, he's unsure as to who
Could have
or even
rescued
what was
somebody,
heard
but
on
he got
camera.
scared.
But as always, what are your thoughts on this? Could this be evidence of something supernatural? Or had something else been captured?
Something else spooky happened when I farted.
This is why you should never
and
open
a
the door
ghost
to
came
anyone
out.
or anything
Stinky
at
one.
night without knowing for sure who or what it is. A single mother named Lupus and her 3 children had caught footage of something very strange that appeared
Shit.
at their front door. They had just woken up from a deep sleep when suddenly they captured this. Now,
captured
prior to this incident, the
shiny
family had been
Pikachu.
experiencing unusual activity at home. They believe that the reason strange things have
Wednesday's
been happening
Crypt.
to
No,
them
never
is
heard. I don't
because they
know
live in an
anything.
area where a lot of witchcraft is done.
Witchcraft
Sometimes, the
town.
family would spot shadowy figures lurking around their house as if someone or something was observing them.
No way.
One night, the family wakes up after hearing what sounds like a cat meowing at their front door.
Meowy
They
meow.
quickly grab
Let
their
me
camera
in.
and capture this.
¿Quién eres?
Oh, what the fuck?
Tú no eres un gato.
You're not a cat? What?
Ay, ¿qué es eso?
What
Vete
is
de
that?
aquí, ¿quién eres?
What the fuck is that? Is that like a face? What is that? Is it like crawling at them?
¿Quién eres?
Oh. 3 times speed.
Tú no eres un gato.
Is it gonna run
Te
at them?
ordeno que te vayas de mi
What
casa.
are we looking at right
As they
Shit,
continue
that's
to
some
record the
fucking
supposed
Japanese
cat,
demon
a
shit
few
right
things
there.
become apparent. Firstly, the cat's meowing seems quite unnatural, suggesting that someone or something was imitating
deep
these
right there.
sounds. But as if that wasn't enough to prove this wasn't a cat, a pale-looking face can be seen at the door upon looking closely.
What is that?
It's as though whoever or whatever had been there was trying to trick the family into letting it in by pretending to be a cat in distress.
I'd let it in.
Not much else is known about this video, which has yet to be fully explained.
It's Ren.
But if there's anything to take away from this footage, it's that it's crucial to be careful when it comes to answering your door to unexpected visitors, as you never know what might be on the other side.
Yeah, it looked like the Spirited Away ghost. That's what I was thinking. I was like, this.
Now, the original source of this next video is unknown, but no context is needed, as what happens in
from
this clip
Jimmy's
pretty much
dad.
explains itself. A man is presumed to be visiting the gravesite of someone he once knew, when abruptly, the sound of muffled screams are heard coming from somewhere. He thinks he's found the source.
I'm stuck inside this grave. Oh my god, dude. That's fucking creepy. Jesus.
If you listen closely, you can hear what sounds like very faint tapping coming from somewhere. It isn't until approaching a particular gravesite that the sound becomes louder. It was at this moment when the man recording knew that the sounds were coming from inside this grave. But upon making this realization, a muffled scream is heard from inside.
Holy fuck. I didn't even hear that the
was
first
seemingly
time.
shaken to his core.
That's
Could
the
it be
man.
that someone was trapped inside? Or, as most viewers believe,
Yokai.
could this have been the spirit of a deceased individual who was trying to reach out to the man recording?
Never
Like
open the
most
door to something
videos,
intimidating
you'd be
you
the
or a loved
judge
one.
on what exactly
Did I
was
hear about that?
captured.
Like at like Native American reservations, that they have that happen a lot there.
At around 3:50 in the morning, a man living alone inside an apartment wakes up to the sound of footsteps going up his staircase. As he cautiously walks over to the stairs to see who's there,
Yeah, check out those
something bone-chilling
pajamas.
is caught on camera. Now, not too long ago, the man in this video, whose name is Aaron, had received terrible news from the police regarding his downstairs neighbor, who had not been seen for weeks.
Oh shit.
As it turns out, the rotting stench that Aaron had been smelling for a while, and the multitude of flies surrounding his neighbor's window, was
chicken they
all
made.
because of a body that was decomposing
never mind.
inside. His neighbor, according to the police, had passed away in his own apartment. Considering
Yikes.
that Aaron lived right above him, he was deeply unsettled by this news. So much so that the thought of them dying right beneath him keeps him up at night. But on one occasion, it was more than just a thought that kept him awake. It's 3:40 in the morning when
shit.
Aaron hears a creaking sound from his staircase. Watch.
Hey, Ron. Oh my god, dude, if I heard creaking like something walking up your steps but nothing was there, I'd freak the freak out. Akin to opening a spiritual door and inviting a non-human evil into your life. Yeah, no thank you. I want a human evil instead. Wait, do you guys hear the... I guess sometimes you kind of get used to like the sounds of something walking in your house or whatever. I just can't hear it. Poggers fart. I didn't fart. Did I fart? What the fuck? What is going on? Oh! The water started running. I guess at least they washed their hands. I've heard one leave after I booted it out of my aunt's house. It growled. Yikes. Let me stay in your house. Look at that little door. Dude, what the fuck? Dude, some people are way braver than I am. What was that noise? What is that sound? What the fuck is that? A very clean ghost. Toilet covers moved. It's filling with... Oh, that's the water filling up in the back of the toilet. Well, it just had to shit, I guess.
Eerily,
fart fan.
Aaron feels a chill run down his spine as he senses a presence nearby. He's even more unsettled when he hears a sudden noise come from the bathroom, as if someone is hiding inside. He finds it strange that ever since his neighbor passed away, unusual things have been happening in his apartment. From lights
Just a
flickering on their
mischievous little
own, to
dude.
the occasional footsteps heard on the staircase, it's all becoming too much for Aaron. However, on
Yeah,
another
everything
night,
needs a jump
Aaron
scare.
immediately takes out his phone to record.
Honestly, that's kind of the nice thing about these like ghost videos is that they're not fucking jump scared. The only reason I screamed that one time was because of the dumbass music they threw in there out of nowhere. Gyong. Look at my terrible wardrobe.
Let's do it again. I'm not gonna run.
Oh my fucking no way, dude. Like zoinks.
Oh shit.
Wow. The lights mysteriously flicker
Wow.
and things eerily move on their own.
Wow.
As though an unseen presence had done this.
Does that look...
It was
Okay,
after
time
this
out.
night that Aaron became extremely concerned.
It looks as if it's pulled.
Something is not right in his home, and he has no idea how to fix it.
It kind of looks like it's
Feeling
pulled.
helpless, he found it necessary to take the advice of one of his viewers as a last resort. According to them, by burning a stick of sage and using an egg, his home would be cleansed of whatever it might be
All I
that's
need
haunting
is
him.
one joint and one
Not
egg.
sure what to expect, Aaron does exactly that.
Throw
But
a
little did
fucking
he
egg
know
at this
that
guy.
this was not the best idea.
Everybody knows
Take a
ghosts' biggest weaknesses are brown, organic,
Use what y'all
grass-fed
said and put the
eggs.
egg in the middle of the room.
Some guy's just like, all right, you're gonna need an egg.
Okay.
You're gonna put that shit right in the middle of the room.
Keeps going out. Okay, it's good. Okay. If anything is here, you are not welcome.
The ghost walks out. All right,
That's good.
whatever,
You're not
dude.
welcome here.
You're
have
not
to
welcome
leave.
unless you pay half the rent.
You're not welcome. I really didn't want to like. You're not welcome.
Yeah,
here.
eggs are too expensive. I
You
can't
have to
fight
leave.
any of these fucking ghosts. Oh, the egg bursts? No way.
There you go. Don't show no fears. You're not welcome here. You're not welcome in the corners.
You can live in my shed. Oh shit, no! Dude, that would suck so much wieners if you had a fucking poltergeist of sorts.
Not welcome here.
I don't think I could live with that, to be
leave,
honest
find
with
your
you.
way
I
out.
legitimately don't think I'd be able to like operate, function properly.
Okay, I think that's enough. I think I'm just getting the spirit mad.
As
Yeah,
Aaron
some
sages
casual
the place,
sage.
the floor lamp
You
in the
get that at
corner
the dollar
begins to
store.
shake on its own, and a hanging object above the door starts to move without notice.
I mean, that kind
But
of seems
strangest
legit.
of all is when Aaron grabs the egg that he placed on the floor and cracks it open.
And there was a
bad spirit in here.
What is that? What the? Who comes up with these ideas in the past? Oh, no fucking way, dude. No fucking way.
A dark substance
What
comes pouring out of
the
the egg,
fuck
which
is
doesn't appear to
that?
be a good sign, as viewers state that if the egg comes out looking like this, then something is definitely not
Who
right in this
fucking
home.
figured that
something
shit out?
evil might be present, as they
Okay,
state.
put an egg in the
Feeling
middle
more
of the room?
concerned than before, he tries a different type of sage in the hopes that burning this one would cleanse his home for sure.
You should
He
eat it.
leaves the
You should
windows
scramble
open as
it.
advised by his viewers, and proceeds with the second cleansing.
I mean, that's kind of impressive because it's like not even like bloody, like a period egg. And
So if
it's
there's a demon in
and the
here,
egg, the external shell
you're not
doesn't. Well, I guess the
welcome.
external shell
You have
could
to
be,
leave.
wouldn't really rot.
You're not welcome.
What the fuck?
Still smoking. It's barely lit. You know, people don't think that you're real.
You know, period egg. I don't know.
People
Sometimes you
actually
get
think
fucking chicken eggs that
You
have
don't
like
think so. I
some
wanna
degree of
show
like
them.
blood within them still or whatever.
So show yourself. Don't be
Metal egg. Yeah, it looks like fucking
Don't be
like
scared.
black tar. It was a
Show
cat. It was
yourself.
probably a Cadbury.
Come out.
Oh my god. Yeah, embryo. There you go. Wait, they're actually using that sound.
Something's definitely showing itself.
Oh my god, that's the one where like that
It's okay, because I got
fat dude with a clown mask is like creeping along
it's
the.
barely lit, but it's okay. It's still lit. I'm okay.
He lights his house on fire.
I'm scared to go around this corner.
How come in Luigi's mansion you didn't get any sage? You just had a vacuum cleaner. That's what he needs. Oh shit!
Here we go.
You know, if an egg works, a fucking vacuum cleaner has got to work. I remember my abuela using an egg like that. Was it filled with weird black goo at the end? That's crazy, dude. The fact that he had like.
Or do something to this egg.
He's talking to the ghost.
Move it.
Oh. That'd be so fucking scary, dude. This architecture is real scary, yeah. Welcome to apartment housing. They just throw shit together like Minecraft.
Maybe it left out the window or something.
Get in the egg, ghost! Yeah, this is like some Pokemon shit.
Okay, let's go do the egg. So I can leave my apartment.
8 times speed.
There's nothing on my hand, nothing.
Okay, so I don't really know how you'd be able to fake this. I really don't know how you'd be able to fake, like... No fucking way, dude! What is that shit? What is that shit, dude?
Again, I don't know why.
It's like green and black.
Mysterious
it's like filled with
footsteps
fucking like
are heard
car
going down the
oil.
stairs, and the egg, unlike before, comes out looking darker than ever.
That's so fucking
Understandably,
weird, dude.
Aaron was freaked out of his mind.
I would
Even
be.
his friends who came over to visit him were left baffled.
That's
after
actually the
seeing something very
creepiest
strange
video I
happen
think I've
right
seen in a
before their
while.
eyes. It was only a few days later, after saging the place, when the following happened.
So the TV turned off.
Ectoplasm.
By itself.
The evil entity isn't hiding anymore.
This has been happening too.
Something like that, dude, you gotta...
Certain type of dyed acid. I guess that could be possible, but like, how would you put it in the egg? Do you have to just drill a small hole into it?
Just like, is anybody here?
And then fill the egg with the liquid or some shit? It just seems like...
Anybody here, sir?
I don't know.
The remote strangely moves on its own, like most things inside Aaron's apartment. It's worth noting that no strings can be seen around, and how it glides seems impossible to achieve with someone pulling it from behind the phone.
Right.
With no explanation to these occurrences, Aaron is certain that something supernatural is happening. He continues to document these peculiar occurrences in the hopes that someone could help him out. But as with most videos, you be the judge on whether or not something paranormal is actually occurring. Just what exactly is going on inside Aaron's apartment?
Just like Tren. Yeah.
Feel free to let me know what you think.
He probably used his Tren needle. Number 2. Piss blanket.
If there's one
in my
thing that
uncle's
paranormal
closet.
videos
Whoa.
involving children never fail to do,
No,
it's leaving viewers feeling very unsettled.
Oh no.
Yet it's only certain videos of this type that can leave us feeling this way. The following video, although seemingly wholesome, is no exception to those type of videos. The footage itself was recorded by a mother who was playing with her son
Yeah,
in
if my
bed.
shit was haunted,
During
it better
this
be
time,
fucking
though,
free.
something happens that immediately prompts her to grab her phone and record this moment. While playing in bed, her child suddenly becomes fixated on an empty space in the room.
Whatever it
He
is,
then
it's
turns
coming
around
from his
and
middle
points at
finger
a
if you
picture
were
of his
watch it.
father who recently passed
maybe.
away. What happens next?
Well, I don't know.
has
It
left
seemed
her
like
speechless.
Because like the whole yolk was completely dyed. It's not like there was like yellow. It's just like straight black yolk. Dude, this. Oh no. Oh man. It's kind of like the creepy kids shit we were reading
Who's
earlier.
that? Who's up there? Who is it? Who is it?
Oh boy.
Who?
Made a sandwich out of it.
Who is it?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Because you can't really trick a kid. I feel like. Oh, is that thing moving up there? No, it's just a. Oh, bro, this is fucking weird.
Who's that?
Not much else is known about this video, as the original source is unknown, but the footage speaks for itself. Many viewers believe that the child is seeing the spirit of his father. The fact that he points at the picture and looks back and forth between the photograph and the empty space has led the mother to believe that her son was in contact with his father. If that's the case, then this video suddenly becomes heartwarming. Was the child seeing the spirit of his father? Or was it simply just a figment of his imagination? If you caught something creepy on camera, or if there's any ghost videos you'd like me to check out and include in the next compilation, you can send them over to scaryvideos444@gmail.com.
444.
That being
Scary
said,
Videos
let's get back to the video.
444. Hey guys. Send
You
it to
might recall from
spookytown.
previous videos about a woman named Lauren
EXE.
Combs who's been experiencing strange happenings in her house. Well, just recently, Lauren had posted some new footage regarding her unusual situation. Now, just as a recap, Lauren has had numerous occurrences happen at home that are thought to be paranormal in nature. From the doorbell going off on its own as though someone was ringing it, to Lauren's hair being pulled by an unseen force. Things at home have not been normal since moving in. All that's happened has made her concerned for the safety of her dogs besides her own.
What the dog doing?
She believes that something evil dwells in her house and has bad intentions for both her and her dogs. In a recent video, Lauren is on the porch talking to her boyfriend on the phone when this is captured.
Oh, I thought she was the fucking ghost first. I was like, no fucking way. That's like.
I gotta wait for my work clothes to dry.
She's talking to the ghost. Babe, I want Chick-fil-A. Hashtag only ghosts. She needs an. Everybody better get an egg right now. Sage your shit. Make an omelet. We're gonna hear their entire dinner. Ooh!
Dude, my door just closed.
Locked out, bitch.
Yes.
He owns those dogs now. Oh my god, dude.
I just got locked out of my house. Yes, nobody's here.
That's kind of scary. Where's the dog?
Luna!
The dog should be able to open it.
I don't even see you in there. Hang on.
Wait, what? She's about to get a battering ram. Babe, are we getting Pizza Hut? Oh my god, dude, no fucking way.
At first,
she's gonna miss
front
Piggy
door
the
closes
door.
forcibly, as though someone had slammed it shut. Fearing for the safety of her dogs who are inside the house,
That's kind of
Lauren
funny.
runs
Ghosts
over
are
to the
just
back
good at
door
like closing
and manages
doors
to get inside.
and ringing
However,
doorbells.
upon entering the house, the back door suddenly closes by itself before the doorbell starts ringing out of nowhere. It was immediately then that Lauren knew that this was another paranormal
That she
occurrence she
fucked
had to
up.
run away from. Fortunately, she safely escapes from this terrifying situation with both her dogs.
Luna,
This incident
what the
was
fuck
so
happened?
frightening that she had to
I
spend a few
saw
nights at her
a
boyfriend's before
fucking
having enough courage to come back.
Casper.
A couple of days pass, and Lauren finally returns home. But on a certain night, something happens that leaves her paralyzed with fear. Take a look.
Oh shit. Little mouse on the ground there. Did you see that? Oh, dude, that sounds like. What the fuck? What was that dog? She got a whole desk full of pills.
Sit.
Maybe she took so many. She took so many that the camera's hallucinating. I mean, that tap sounded not very ghost-like. That sounded like pretty human-esque. Ooh, what is she doing? Why did she open the fucking window like that? It could have been a human being. I'm not ready for this. They better not fucking add some shit. I need my mouth guard. Ooh. Do not fucking jump scare us. Ooh, what happened? Oh, god damn it. What the fuck was that? What even? Oh, there. Okay, so it's some random voice.
Perhaps opening the window wasn't the right move, as according to viewers, whatever was tapping on the window is now inside.
Oh, you
Whether
dumb
a stranger
idiot.
or a ghost, it's unknown as to who
You're
or
fucking
what was
haunted
outside
forever.
the window. But, as if that wasn't creepy enough, a faint whisper can be heard inside Lauren's room only seconds later. If you listen closely, it kind of sounds like it's saying hey or hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Like most
It's me,
incidents,
Ghost Town.
this one has left Lauren considering whether or not she should move out. Viewers feel that it might be best if she did, but until she does, it seems likely that the activity in her home will continue and perhaps intensify as seen in previous videos. Just like those, this
You feel like you're being
remains
watched
a
now.
mystery.
Dude, I get that feeling every time that's why I don't watch ghost videos, because then it's just, I feel like every other ghost is like, hey, what are you
Thanks for
watching over there?
And I hope you enjoyed. Until next time.
Until next time, which probably is best for me to until next time as well. But first, a little elevator music detox. Sometimes, not even funny, like music almost like kind of chills things out a little bit sometimes. Ellie with the 2 says, having so much fun. I hope we do this again soon. I think we will. I think this is a good idea. At first I was like, oh, let's watch funny stuff, but I'm like, I don't know. Funny stuff, it's hit or miss whether it's funny. And I feel like you guys probably don't want to sit there and listen to me like, hee hee hee, ha ha ha, that meme is funny. I think me being spooked is way better. But, yeah, all of your guys' toes are about to get grabbed by something. I don't know what it is, but something's going for those tootsies. But guys, thank you so much for chilling with me and recording tomorrow's stories and trying out this new reaction screen. So I am officially a cool reaction YouTuber now. Blasphemous HD 2.0. But yeah, I will get, as usual, get this up and ready to rock and roll on the Patreon. It's only $1 a month over there for early access to the audio. And Dan, I will get it up on YouTube for tomorrow's video at 7 p.m. EST. So be sure to hit that notification bell so you know when it goes live, because it does really help whenever you watch the videos like right when they come out. But I totally understand watching them whenever you feel comfortable doing so. You're twitching. Motherfucker, I'm tweaking. No, you guys are awesome. Appreciate you. Thanks for chilling out. And yeah, hopefully we can do more of this. And I will have to do like a test stream for video games at some point before the birthday stream. I don't know when I'm going to do that, but I need to at least like see how it feels and what's necessary for it. So, but we'll get there when we get there. Appreciate you guys, and I hope you have an amazing schmeevening. Goodbye.